Oh, we haven't seen it just yet. And I think that if I was trying to remember some of the tells of Fnatic, you'd always see them go for in the forklift room on their T side, the boost on the left-hand side, get up and over that smoke for control. Teams are starting to double nade that. I think that they rock a bit of a double AWP setup on their CT side, flush it over towards the B side. He was wielding the AWP.
Thank you for reminding me.
A couple of nuggets there.
I remember just Flusher will on T side BB, on CT side BB. Those B stairs will have Flusher upon them in one way, shape or form. And so Vertigo will be the first map, 100% win rate. MADLions have not lost this map in the last 3 months. And Fnatic on a 4-series losing streak. It does certainly paint the picture of what to look forward to as we step into Vertigo. Fnatic on the defense. It will be MADLions to attack. GG.bet has actually given the edge to MADLions.
Wow.
That's a testament to how far Fnatic have fallen from grace.
Okay, well, let's get this one underway here. The buys are in for both sides. You've got Acor, the man we were just talking to with a bunch of utility, and the same for Refresh. Molotov flashes and smokes to work with. Molotov towards mid for crowd control, and fast on to B they go. Flush is already dinked.
Brolin, oh, they don't check him, and he manages to punish 3! 4 from Brolin! Just out of nowhere with a USP, not even the weapon for the job. That is a quick announcement of the Brolin's presence, and JW's here to finish off the piece to steal the ace. Perhaps not, doesn't catch a glimpse. Refresh.
He saw the barrel. He just wasn't focused. He definitely saw the barrel there.
And so Refresh sits. He has to make a sound cue. Ooh. Soft dismount. JW will hunt. Finishes off the job. So Brolin, a USP, no less.
How does he convert that?
I have no... I expect 1. 2 is like he's pushing it. 4. 1... Flying through the air. Who's this? Shush had a nightmare there.
Yeah, they've all gone bounding by.
Nightmare.
That's one to forget quite quickly, I think, because that's going to put a lot of confidence and a smile on the face of the babyface killer Brolin there. He is one, if he gets activated, a massive win condition for Fnatic here. He packs a punch alongside of Crims, and that is one way to kick off the affair here against the MADLions. Just going to be the economical coming up.
Here he is. Armored P2K, boys.
How many is he going to get against the Glocks?
I swear, if he gets more than 1 with an Armored P2K, I'm going to scream.
Brolin's here.
That's going to make things even more difficult.
They're walking on the back wall there, so the feet can't be spotted by Brolin's little jiggle here. There's the P2K and the crossfire. Oh, wait, hold up. Flush is going for an ace with the P2K.
He got 4 with the P2K. No armor, no problem. But the lucky P2K was equipped by Hoops. He doesn't know the secrets, though. He doesn't know the secrets.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, it's
Flusher, dude,
2 4Ks to kick off the game.
Yeah, and I want to see it from Flusher's POV. Here it comes. No need for a weapon. I'll keep my default pistol, and he gets not only 2, but 4 with the P2K. All Brolin was a glorified $4,000 distraction.
Jeez, he even copped the dink there, pro Brolin in the mix. So we're getting the gun rounds underway very quickly. MADLions with the full eco straight into the AKs.
They like B, don't they?
Yeah, and some flashes through the window. This one's a matchmaking classic.
Oh, Fnatic could not have had a dreamier start to Vertigo. Hello, thank you. Slippery sandbags. Those pesky sandbags.
This is nuts.
Look at the damage. This round is over. Roy and Acor shaken. Refresh perhaps is a win condition. I mean, maybe. It's a maybe, though. JW's hiding his barrel, and just as he peeks, he's found... I can't think of a better way to get the mojo flowing in the right direction for Fnatic. A quad kill with a P2K, a pistol round 4K, and then just running into the meat grinder. They go for a B take, and just in time, that MP9 comes down from Brolin. This is over, boys.
Yeah, cleanup crew on aisle B.
2 AKs recovered as well. No, 3, just in the nick of time. Flusher grabs 1.
That's great stuff there as Fnatic are up to a 3-0 lead here. MADLions are stumped.
I'm calling it now. I reckon it's going to be a 7-0 Fnatic start.
Wow.
We finish it
8-7.
much closer.
Now, I want to make a couple little notes there. You saw that Brolin finished the previous round, round number 2, with an M4. He had the spawn to be up close personal towards B. So the falling or jumping accuracy with the MP9 is better. They threw that one across to him, swapped some weapons around, and he was able to find a lot of damage, but the pistols are out. It's going to be a partial investment here from MADLions as they will be opting for the buy in round number 5. But what damage can they do? At this point, we are just looking for some confidence, and well, JW building some of his own to kill through the smoke. Roy falls, and there's Acor. Oh no, Acor needs to be very careful there. Might slip off if he's not too careful. His movement is good, so what am I worried about?
One benefit of me not playing CS in 3 weeks is I haven't fallen off vertigo in 3 weeks. That's
I thought you do it on purpose, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. For cool points and stuff. Brolin getting a lot of pressure from these Desert Eagles. His mission is to just delay that bomb plant. It has been a bit of a bumpy ride. They have got enough frags to get space and an AK. Bomb won't be planted though. Incendiary stops it. And JW kind of just putting a bow on this. Unless Refresh was to get a one tap. Spray works. 2-on-2. They have the smoke as well. Crims might want to use that. Golden, he knows he's got an unarmored adversary close. Refresh low as well. That bomb plant will be Refresh's responsibility, and he goes down default now. Fakes it. Hoping to spur Golden into the peak and losing A-Corp. Beginning of the end, Fnatic do go up 4-0 and convert.
Interesting note for all you Vertigo naysayers out there. They've gone B for all 4 rounds here to kick off map number 1 of our second series of the day. So the other bomb site actually getting some action.
For once.
Feels quite nice, and so does Acor getting the AWP. He's actually thrown it across to Shush here. So if we can go on board with Shush, Rushley, to see what type of pick they're opting for in the early stages here. It does look like over towards B.
Oh, scary stuff, that B AWP peak. Feels like you're at a disadvantage from the get-go, but he takes it nonetheless.
So there's no aggression here, but there is from JW. So AWP on the other side of the map, looking for space, looking for territory.
Roy, brave, like it, just the edge of the flame.
Look at all that utility he has to deal with. Smokes, Molotovs, flashes now, as well as the AWP. It forces forward. Roy's on his lonesome here.
Yeah, but it's a powerful lurk you can set up.
No spam, that's good. Hasn't given away his position. And now back over towards B, they hedge. AWP has been thrown back towards Acor. It looks like a bit of a split they're trying to set up.
Yeah, oh, if he finds the frag on A, it would have been very convincing. I wonder if that's enough to keep their feet planted, though. Brolin does behead the AWPer. Doesn't need the scope on that AWP to do damage, and so already casualties for MADLions to overcome. Refresh, good precision after playing anti. Brolin's hunting. Strange sound cues being exchanged. He knows there's a hunt on.
He's juked him here.
Life is valuable. Hooksy, that's a crucial frag. That was the B defender. There's room for MADLions here. It's short-lived. Celebrations cut short by Crims. 2 of them coming in from construction. A boost, I like it. Over the smoke, and it enables them to find Hooksy clean. Shush to clutch. Not easy. Far from it. He needs 1, and it's unlikely he gets it cleanly. 2 of them on the site already. He's hoping to catch the straggler. It'll be JW. They molly him out of position. That's perfect from Fnatic. And
very good stuff.
5-0 start.
So they didn't panic there and they didn't rush it. I love the fact that they used the extra elevation from the construction position to get that kill onto Hooksy. And then knowing that the bomb had just gone down, they didn't need to force forward. This was a nice adjustment from Refresh to make the round interesting, but getting caught out of position as that rotation came in. And this is the boost I liked. And that Molotov to follow. They were just crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They weren't rushing it, as we get some glimpse at the players at home. And a bit of frustration within the early stages because they've been kept to a clean sheet right now. It's 5-0 in favor of Fnatic. That plant with the max loss bonus does bode well. But if you want to be supporting your fans, your team, as fans at home, head over to iem.gg/fancam. You can see some of the people watching at the moment. Join them. Get your flags. Make some signs.
Okay, we do see another AWP for Acor. I was intrigued to know whether or not he'd be given that.
Shush yet to frag, same as Roy. Roy had a rough one on train the other day alongside of Hooksy. That was against Navi. Be good to see them get off the mark early here.
Well, don't worry. My prediction is 7-0,
right?
Don't forget.
2 more rounds as Hooksy's lobbed out one towards scaffolding. That one's going to obscure the vision. Anybody pushing down the alley. CT's lobbing there. Smokes for crowd control too. And Acor mounting up and over, seeing if he can find anybody at all. And we know that Golden loves to do a little jump peek over towards that sandbag. Having to tuck his head down here. Well, that sound cue lets them know what they're working with, and they've actually opted for a double nade right onto Roy, so 20 HP, and he hasn't even seen anybody yet.
Yeah, and I don't fancy Acor's chances against this JW AWP peak. It will favor the Swede. Yeah, that's big. Opening frag found. JW draws another opening, and it's added to by Golden. Shush, this is a chance. Flush has worked it out, though. He saw it just in the nick of time, but B, again, the finish for MADLions, and that was the frag they needed. Fnatic are looking very well drilled here. There is very few avenues that the MADLions have tried to walk that haven't been met by just brutality. Brolin, this was where he got his pistol 4K. He's tucked in again on the weapon round. It's just a foreboding feeling for refresh.
I think a timeout's needed for MADLions once this one comes to its likely conclusion.
Maybe they do the Tech 9 armor, then call the timeout.
Yeah, it's just I think they need to slow down the pace of the game. It's because of how quickly these rounds have run away. It doesn't even feel like you're getting a chance to compete. You can see Refresh is trying to slow it down for himself and isolate some duels, but he won't even get that option as Brolin finishes him off. And what I mean by that is, like, if the rounds aren't playing out in like 3v3s and you're not getting too much of a chance to play in, you're just getting obliterated. And that can truly be said for Shush and Roy. It was that retake we were talking about before.
Control there, you can see the headshot coming in from Flusher, controls the spraying beautifully. You can see Golden, he talks with his hands, he's a gesticulator, is Golden.
You know what's quite interesting here? I'm sure that a lot of prep work was done by Fnatic for Vertigo when they were going up against Complexity, because I think that they got lured into that Inferno pick when they were probably expecting Vertigo to be the choice.
Uxie, you have got something for us.
An ace smoke.
Yeah, does he need to break the glass or is that all part of it?
I think it's already broken, so he's going to be lucky here with a little bit of a crouch move and a throw. And
that is gross. Look at that deep mid elevator smoke for the mid push.
That's filthy.
Very groovy. And you can see what it's done. It gives them control. They have CT spawn. Suddenly A's getting flanked and Shush has got another. He might even get another dink. Golden, unfortunately, through the frame.
Oh, they're standing next to each other.
AW is going to find him with a no-scope. Refresh kissing in the smoke. And another through the smoke. A-Core exposed by the jump. This one, it looked cool. It looked very cool, but it has not manifested into anything particularly productive. And so the 7 for Fnatic will be secured. Perhaps that timeout and an 8-7 comeback, Chad, could be on the card.
That was some Nerdburger stuff right there from the MADLions. But that little foray over there towards Elevator Room, I think that Refresh was stuck between two players. Because there was a rifler in front of him and JW was behind with the AWP. That was really quite odd right there. But there is the 7-0 as the Oracle, Alex Machine Richard. Here it is. Look at this, Alex.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this?
A proper Eiffel Tower setup.
Oh, wow.
Refresh didn't stand a chance.
I haven't heard that one since my college days either, so...
7-0. Now it's time for a bit of a catching of the breath. I imagine this is a timeout called. Looks like, yeah, timeouts remaining. 3. It is MADLions using one of their timeouts, as foretold.
All right, all right.
There is no spoon, Chad. That's how I've worked this out.
There is no spoon?
Yeah, I can see into the matrix now. It's just 1s and 0s.
Ah.
But the kill spread is very demoralizing. In fact, 12 kills to Brolin, that's more than the entirety of MADLions combined. Huge discrepancy in independent firepower to start off this map pick.
Back-to-back timeouts as well.
You're right, 2 in a row.
Now, I was wrong last time I mentioned this. You can take as many in a row as you want. If you want to burn all 4 and have your 2 minutes, go nuts. And you might need to. Look at Brolin's ADR, 201 points of damage per round. That's average damage a round for those of you not too familiar with our acronyms.
I'll lack your name in a minute. That was innuendo.
Ah. I'm actually... I don't know where to take that. We'll just leave it. There were so many places I was going to go.
But you didn't, and I respect it. I'm taking a quick look at the advanced stats, double-checking how that multi-kill has been distributed. He's got 3 multi-kills so far, has Brolin, just 7 rounds into the piece, and a double timeout. Yeah, and a cancel after. Okay. So there's been a huge delay. I wonder if MADLions are trying to take the wind out of Fnatic's sails here.
Yeah, hopefully a tech issue we can get resolved very quickly. Didn't look like there were too many issues. Obviously, these situations tend to be just team speak, or maybe someone just spilt water all over their mouse pad.
I always find it interesting when the buy can be changed.
I think they have to buy back in
identically.
Yeah, I believe that the rules mean that they like at least like if you accidentally bought like a Negev, right? You're gonna have to buy that Negev again. But let's say that you bought like 2 flashes and you want to smoke. Yeah, I'm sure that there's probably no dramas on that kind of a change up. But one of the dramas MADLions have, lack of AWP. Now, this could spell a pace change from MADLions, something that could be a bit quicker, a bit more pack heavy, because if you've got A-core on a rifle and not an AWP...
Fnatic went for a 4A lean to start this off.
Okay.
And it's just going to be a very passive hold on towards B and middle. Brolin just poking for info. Flusher the same on B. 3 towards A.
Well, Hooksy, Goaty, look at it.
He gets his nade right. Oh, I'm intrigued to know how much damage it will do. It's about timing. That's the flash. And oh, Hooksy gobbles it up. Practically full damage. They smoke off elevators. This is, again, the mid-presence. Brolin's got the angle he's comfortable with, and it does look promising.
Hard to clear.
Very hard to clear. And he still finds Acor. Hooksy as well. Very well played by the babyface killer. Double. Flusher's doing what Flusher does best on B, just being a nuisance as they try and punish.
Come on, Roy. Get one, mate.
0-1-8.
It's not the place you want to be, especially as one of the more supportive elements of the team. And that's what Roy is. Look, he's not meant to be a star fragger by any means, but he's definitely not meant to be sitting there at 0 frags to his name. And to be fair, well, his teammates are keeping very honest as well. Not too many kills distributed whatsoever. And look at the smile on JW. Just a little grin. Things are going very swimmingly. There's no need to get upset. There's no need to get frustrated. Everything's going well. And on the other side, well, Hooksy, the in-game leader, he might need to come out with something fast and furious on the P90. The bullets, the spam that's downrange, the dink's even into Flusher, and he's found the kill eventually.
That's how you win. Oh, that's awkward. Just fortunately fixes the issue before it gets too out of hand. It's a long distant angle held by JW, but it's unlikely the MADLions are going to give him anything for free. Oh, Acor does get caught in the fingernails. Now they clutch on. Frags pulled forward. Just Crims. He's found, and that's what they needed. Finally break their silence. MADLions finishing it off, and it all starts with a P90 charging. They'll have to drop some weapons.
When in doubt, rush B. I think that's basically been in Counter-Strike folklore since the dawn of time. And Shush there getting some impact, really dealing with that rotation. You can see how tight the choke point gets towards CT spawn and that construction position with just a light utility being dropped. And the guns will be back out. The bank balance for Fnatic was looking phenomenal, so they have no dramas with buys in the next as well, as now it's just a pace change. Maybe they want to go for more of a default play, but lots of harassment early with this utility, and Crim's up close and personal. He could be a nightmare, or he's going to feel the nightmares of Hooksy, but Golden with a double through the smoke, a triple from Golden.
Roy, mad as hell. The round's done. JW makes sure of that, puts a nail into Hooksy. Go on, Shush. Nope, nothing. That's going to be just the two of them. JW and Golden partnering up for all 5 kills necessary to pull home the 9th Fnatic. I think I like the angle you took there, Chad, because I remember that Fnatic Complexity series, and with the veto surprising us, Vertigo not showing up in the bans.
Yeah. Something they would have worked on, right? Because they knew that Complexity were their opening team for about a week, I think, since it was drawn. So,
and then Complexity beat Fnatic on their own map pick.
Are they singing a national anthem of some variety? There was hands on chests. I saw a bit of singing into the microphone there, so interesting. Loving the fans getting activated as Smoke's back towards the ramp. Buy again, and this time Roy finds an entry. He's been having a rough time of it. That's his 2nd kill. Oh, look at this. This is naughty by Roy. Well, this is naughty by Flusher.
It is. I think there's a good shot here for Hooksy. Ooh, okay. So Brolin's tucked in, and Flusher continues his push. That's Acor's responsibility, and, well, he confirms it at least.
Lock him in.
Good. Frag, that bails them out, but what cost? They don't get the extinguish fast enough. Hooksy's working on a very nice flank. JW's going to get completely caught out. He saves Refresh's life. And now the round is MADLions to control. They'll be taking the bomb beat. Golden's miles away. And just, I mean, the fact that Acor even survives enables him to be getting this bomb down and recover that Galil. So by the smallest of margins, it could very well be 2 in a row. Golden living that no glove, no knife skin lifestyle. He's here for the W. Why do I sound Australian when I say some things now? You've ruined me.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, ouch.
All right, well, Golden, I've got a feeling you might have a chance in this. You can see already hunting towards spawn. They've left the bomb completely open. Acor, he's not even thinking about going back to the side. Golden's just here for damage. He's seeing nobody home. If he runs in now and starts defusing, there might be a chance. Golden, are you going to get this defuse? If he gets on it, it's good. Oh, okay, a little bit too late there, as you can see, just not enough time required for the defuse. but dropping a body and making sure that a weapon will have to be reinvested in. Not the worst way, but Fnatic 9 rounds to the good.
I have a Ninja Fuse itch that hasn't been scratched in some time.
It would have been nice.
I want one of them. I saw a couple of crazy attempts. I think in that big game, Tabson went for some crazy 1v3 from coffins, but yeah, I haven't personally got to witness a cheeky Ninja in a very long time. Love to see it. Lining up, you can see that this one's a bit more convoluted than it needs to be. There's your ramp smoke, and you can see the exchange. The T's throwing their own so as to enable the full cross and not giving the CTs the gaps that they're hoping to create with their own.
Yeah, you can see there on Roy's POV that he can kind of use the smoke as a little bit of a one-way for the crane peak, as well as fighting anybody who wants to force over towards the scaffolding position. So a good way to fight fire with fire or smoke with smoke. As MADLions go back towards middle, a bit of an affinity for this area of the map. It's helped with their rotations. It's really split Fnatic down the middle. As it would. That's the dumbest thing I think I've said. Yeah. Anyway.
You win some, you lose. That's Golden finding himself the head of Refresh, and there's just chaos. He's finally transferred into A-Core. Flusher, however, seems to have this worked out. Roy anticipating the flank through the smoke, and now a 3-on-3. Here we go. MADLions starting to make a half out of this. Molotov. Landing, forcing Roy a little further back. He can still hold the line, though. Biding their time. This is the push. Smoke on Crims. JW still sees nothing. Finally, Shush draws blood, and now Fnatic running out of chances, running out of players. JW just looks to get out. And it will be MADLions continuing to close that gap just a little bit more. They've won themselves 3 of the last 4 rounds of play.
All right, well, I'm not sure if Fnatic can really afford to allow MADLions to warm back into this game. Now, I know it's still early stages. We're still just have 12 rounds played. But if this is a 9-6 half, MADLions will have had to have woken up individually, and they'll take the momentum and confidence into the second half. Those are very, very positive things for a young, sprightly squad to be working with, and knowing they're going up against another Tier 1 opponent after their match against Navi just the other day. They're going to be feeling good about things. As you can see, Peacemaker, the coach we highlighted at the start of the show, I mentioned he's an early adopter, been doing this since 2015. Not too many coaches can boast that kind of a resume within CSGO. You can see a timeout will be called from Fnatic here, need to discuss their options. Brolin still sitting at the top of the charts there with 16. Crims yet to get fully activated, haven't needed a lot from him up until this stage, and there hasn't been a lot of play over towards A just yet. But going into round number 13, he'll just be down to a Deagle. We've got M4s for Golden and Flusher, Brolin with that AUG and an AWP in the hands of JW, but the money will be broken after this one, and MADLions could look to net up a 9-6 half. Hooksy, some more variance in his purchases right now, has a Mac 10. We've seen him make it work with the P90.
That's a missed shot, but more of a warning than anything else. There will be more where that came from. Roy's been trying his luck on this push time after time, and Golden knows it. Nate doesn't find anything, though. Molly will descend upon Crims. He's dropped himself a smoke, and actually sticking around. You'd think with a sound cue, you'd be a bit scared, but he's happy to just continue to apply the pressure.
Oh.
Good chance, Jiggle from Flusher. He actually wants to re-aggress, and that was the end of Flusher's chapter, and there's more where that came from for MADLions. B is always the finish. It's working out again. Tight line, JW burning down to 16. He really didn't like that.
They might have to save on this one here. If they go for this and they lose, they're going to have no money to work with. But Roy's already working on the chase, and Golden, that's disaster.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect finish. MADLions are doing great work in the closing stages of this one. Crims recovers an M4. He'll be happy to hold on to that if he holds on to that. Hunted now by Roy from T-Spawn and Raycor's lockdown construction. So got one for Crims in his pursuit for save, but Roy had the sound cue pre-aimed nicely, and J-Dubs preserving the AWP as far away as he could possibly be.
Okay, well, 3, 2, 1. Jesus, JW's gone down. He's lost the AWP. Hooksy has found him in the final seconds.
He chose to ignore it, trying to hide the barrel, but it was enough push from Hooksy. Knife out in the last couple of seconds.
Massive find.
This was the frag onto Flusher. Boom, B side open, move, get moving, and then he gets the second to confirm it.
This is so close. Look at this jumping around the corner.
Pre-fires.
Did he get shot by his teammate there as he jumped around the corner? I'm not quite sure what happened, but either way, JW lost the AWP, and that means it's an eco from Fnatic. They've upgraded into some pistols, but there's not too much utility to work with. So MADLions, they have a chance to get their 5th.
And they will find the first of this 14th round. JW patrolling and pushing Scaff, trying to take some space early. Cost him greatly. In fact, that was the only deagle. Everything else a bit weaker.
Oh, this is a cheeky position here by Brolin. You can see tucked in towards the sandbag. If they harass him with utility, a Molotov would be perfect. It becomes less potent, but if he gets baited for by Crims and then, whoop, up comes Brolin's head, maybe we can have a couple of frags, but that's if mid is the finish. Looks right now they want to clear off towards B, and Shush has to be aware of Flush's position. Shadow's good. Frag is better. Flush's corpse thrown off the top floor.
We're going down, down in an early round. Sugar, we're going down.
Imagine if you're in an office building, you're just looking out there and there's a CT just flying out the window.
There he goes. Poor landing. Landed on his side. Needed to see the straight legs. Roy's got a nice little shooting gallery. Everyone gets $300. You get 300. You get 300.
That's really good for Akor's confidence there. He doesn't have a lot of kills up until this point, and nobody really on the squad does, but him getting a couple of freebies on the eco. We need to see him come alive on the AWP on the CT side. And now that they've actually given themselves a couple of rounds to work with, yeah, look, no rotations, not even an attempt.
Poor form, really poor form.
Like he's got 3 more dives here this evening, so...
belly first. It's a belly flop. That's a 0. Big goose egg from the judges on his
not
form.
Happy with that one. All right.
On a round, first half, second map.
Akor has an AWP. I think I've only said that one other round.
Second series. He's worked for them in the past. Oof. It's only through the pressure they apply to A, though, that works. You can see that Flusher has got support from Brolin here. Oh, yikes.
Been a couple of flubs like that tonight with simple jumps. The overpass game with Mira and Magix definitely sticks out to me, but that sound cue is not enough to deter MADLions. The entirety of this game, they have finished towards B or through middle, and now, finally, they are leaning towards A. That has forced Fnatic to play 2 players respecting these B hits time and time again, but Golden could play spoiler.
Good. Okay. He's dropped his smoke, and now you've got a bit of a weird one. It was thrown by his teammate, so the question is there actually anyone there?
Well, they have 1 HE on Roy to throw at his position. That's not going to be enough damage, and if he re-smokes, that's going to stifle their push. So do you forget about Golden and just go through short? You might have to.
Yeah, he's definitely there. See how his nade gets lined up. Go on. Not far off. It could have done a significant amount more had it had a little bit more oomph, a bit more top spin. He's going to flash over in front of Golden sandbags for the peak, and yeah, hoping they assume he's crossed back. Oh, confirms he's still there. For 15 seconds, dude. Dude, he's rocked the clock so much. And now he comes out to peak. Can they get the bomb down? Hooksy unloads his mag. Brolin trying to create chaos, and he has. With 1 frag, he's won the round. No time for Roy. Flusher wins by not moving a muscle, and it's 10-5. MADLions. They started incredibly slow, but they do manage to keep it, at least a lid on it. Double digits for Fnatic coming into half 2.
My heart to see you was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. Of darkness.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't really there for me. Cause nobody else is showing any.
So our second series features both MADLions and Fnatic. Inferno is our second, but we start our battle on Vertigo. This is MADLions' pick. And Peacemaker giving them the last final pep talk before they step into the realms again. Now, Vertigo typically T-sided, Chad. This is Fnatic coming in with a 10-round CT side. Admittedly, it's not a map that they have a particular affinity for, but one can only say that this is only going to point further towards a Fnatic Inferno win, Vertigo win.
Yeah, and I think here that they definitely should be going into the second half with a lot of confidence. They get 2 cracks here. They lose pistol rounds. They might even just go for the force buy, get 2 cracks to break that CT-sided economy, whereas I think for MADLions, they need this pistol and they need to convert, but look at all the utility they've bought. Meanwhile, Fnatic are just rushing middle. They might not get a chance to use these nades.
Go on, refresh.
Oh my
Very
God.
vulnerable, and that was just a nuclear airstrike arriving in middle. Oh God, it's over before it even begins. MADLions shut that down.
Those grenades, I didn't even see where they came from.
One from B, I think.
There was 3 in play there, and I thought that was going to be used for post-plant to stop or deny plants on either side.
Okay, so Roy's got 1.
One already out.
Boom. And there's the second deeper. Yeah, you can see how much damage that did, and it made short work. Look, 4 people can contest mid now. That's how quick they reacted.
I think the third nade actually missed. If the third nade got there, these guys might have been bowled on down. It might have been a strike.
We saw OG
from
bringing
MADLions.
nades into the CT pistol, and now we've seen MADLions. Maybe there's more to it than meets the eye.
Okay, so just a quick little note here for everybody. Seeing Fnatic go for a full eco, they're one of the only teams who do this on a consistent basis on their T side. If they don't get the plant, they go for the full save, and that will facilitate them getting the buy in the 3rd round of the second half.
Yeah.
If they were able to get the force, they might consider the plant, so they might consider going for a force, drop some guns across. But they're being conservative right now. They want to get those AKs out as soon as possible, and that is why it's extremely important for MADLions to keep a clean sheet in this round of play. You don't want to be dropping any guns to the Glocks. Make sure you don't have to reinvest that armor. Make sure you can hold on to all of your weapons. Sure, it's fine to drop your utility. That obviously will be a bit of an investment. But the lion's share of the cost will come through with the armor and the weaponry as steps are made towards B. Hasn't actually baited out too many nades. Refresh is going to get tickled on up here. Blood splatter will be noted as A-Core finds a frag. He needs to farm some cash with that MP9 to get himself an AWP, and Brolin continuing to be cheeky. Refresh is just swatting away flies, really, at that point. Hooksy's aggressions drop the bomb, and that's 2 more for Hooksy. Make it the 4th. closing things out cleanly, and MADLions, to the script they need to follow, have now got themselves 7 rounds, 10-7. Map number 1 here, and has the claps from Peacemaker. Do you think that the Swedes are a little bit unhappy that MADLions are using their color scheme? The blue and yellow?
Blue?
Oh, isn't that the Swedish flag?
Yeah, blue and yellow, the Swedish flag. I'm onto it. I thought you were talking about Fnatic in particular. I was like, black and orange isn't too prominent in MADLions branding.
Okay, guns are out. The utility exchange over towards ramp, and Roy is going hyper aggressive. He's going all the way in. The flash is good. Roy's got 1.
Yeah, and he actually gets away. Nice turn of pace.
I can't believe he got away.
Yeah.
He didn't hang around at all.
Just pushed straight down on the back of that molly, forcing them to be retreating. Knew that they might not be so action on. Roy's going for the safest way to get that information. You can see how hard of a shot that is to hit. Ooh, Hooksy's gone for the opposite approach. Very risky. Overexposed. He does get away though. 30 HP for Hooksy. He won't be taking something so risky again. JW in the meantime forging a path in middle.
This would be a bad one for Fnatic to lose.
Look at Akor's passive stance. You can see he was actually just crouched holding the walk up that ramp. He has managed to slip away. Refresh will see JW shortly. Hello. Yep, 1 mid, he says, with conviction. It's 4 versus 5. Oh my God, Refresh. He's brought the fight to JW, but it does mean MADLions have to work now at an even keel. Less weapons as well. This is AKs against SMGs and FAMAS. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot, Shush. Very powerful. With 30 seconds left on the clock, doubling down into that tight corner. Unlikely to be checked. Could be mollied. They don't have one. Here they come. Shush. Needs to deny. Perfect timing on the push. It's great stuff from Akor and Shush, but Akor left alone with a USP precise, though, into the dome. And it's finished off by Roy from behind. MADLions defending successfully.
All right, well, that was a fantastic start, and I actually want to highlight that. Check this Molotov from Hooksy here that they throw initially. That denies any aggression up through the smoke, which Crims has liked in the past. You can see Roy getting aggressive. You can see a nade getting barreled on down, and then check this flash. It's going to be perfect. It's just exploded right here, completely blind to this side of the screen as well. Pushes in, gets the kill, has the number advantage, and gets on out of dodge. So great work there to kick things off on a bonus round. That's cool. What you like to see.
Yeah, what's that lineup there? I think we've got a wall bang coming in from Akor. Damn, lost it for now, but goes for something crazy all the same. Now, just Eagles, bit of HE action.
They win this. They are well and truly back in this game, MADLions. Just up against these Deagles. The nuclear strike getting lined up for them. Lots of nade work in today's game.
Yeah. Utility damage off the chart. There we have it. Just collecting what they needed to. They are just remaining on the hunt for Crims, but that was a 3-2 split of your Ts. Just 2 towards B and ended up in middle, all going down. So MADLions have closed the gap.
Oh, okay. Interesting note here. Crims has actually bought the Krieg. He did that the other day on Inferno versus Complexity as well. Didn't go so well for him. We didn't get too much action out of it. But it's interesting to see players, especially at this tier 1 level of Counter-Strike, bringing it out. A lot of players thought that it had been nerfed to oblivion, and as Counter-Strike players are, they're very stubborn about trying new things. But Crims has obviously been working on this, seeing if it fits his playstyle. He's wielding it towards middle. So has the scope. And has a fight. Refresh is coming. The flash is no good. And Crims, he cannot convert. Maybe the fire rate could have actually been a problem there.
Yeah, perhaps. Down to 42 refresh now. A huge amount of pressure applied. Look at this. Flusher and Golden both have to react to the potential of refresh in middle. And he's going down the ladder. The man's crazy. Great spray. Go on, Brolin. Roy stands and fights and delivers as well. Numbers favoring MADLions defense here. Golden
the timing.
That's the bomb. Refresh is right behind enemy lines and he's sowing down and destruction. Flusher caught on the rotate. Just J-Dubs. He's not going to gray screen, is it?
Oh my God, J.
Hello, nice foot. Nice to meet you.
That is a huge round from Refresh. They are 4 massive kills. And I want to say that the other day when we watched them versus Navi, You probably weren't impressed. If you heard me on the desk saying, yeah, refresh, he's going to fill the space of Bubsky, he's going to be this aggressive rifler, we're going to see a lot from him. He's actually filling what seems to be a bit more of a supportive or passive role, probably better than supportive. But here, right there, that's explosive, that's aggressive, and that's the type of play that I hope we can see more of from this kid, because him with A-Core, that can be a very potent duo. Now Fnatic, they're getting a little bit stumped. They're going to be getting a little bit frustrated. This is starting the same way that the first half did. Just absolutely blowout Counter-Strikers. Now into the blender of middle they go again, and all the kills fall in the feed for MADLions. They're about to take the lead in this. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, let's not forget how this one started. Fnatic get off to a blistering pace. It was 7, if not 8, in a row in that first half. And, well, similar scenes for MADLions. So, at the moment, a taste of their own medicine. It is, once again, a full buy. We'll get to see a timeout called, in fact, by Fnatic as they look to try and piece this one back together again. So somewhat of a role reversal. MADLions have been here.
Poor Humpty Dumpty.
Never was put together again. JW's got his backup PCs there. You can see all 12 of them. He changes them like Chad used to change mouse pads.
Yeah, you know, whenever he does lands, you know, get the friends around. All right, guys, we're going to use my office space to get everybody around. But things are looking great now for MADLions, and it's good to see them in a bit of a boot camp space as well. We can definitely see Hooksy there, Refreshers there. We've seen Peacemaker. There's Shush.
Got his gaming glasses on today.
And A-Core was the final man on your screen. I swear when we had the cams on, Roy the other day was at home because he was looking buff, and then he changed,
That's right.
Remember? So I'm not sure if he's with the gang either, but I'm sure we can keep tabs on this as the game continues forward. Round 22 getting underway. No AWP brought out for JW here to fight fire with fire. And Roy, who was on 0-0-6 or something along those lines, now has 17 kills.
Yeah.
So he's really come alive here as...
You asked and you shall receive.
Yeah, we got a bit of a stack going on in middle there, Refresh and Hooksy. Now, they are in no man's land. One of the keys here is Refresh could tuck into that wall in case any utility does come on through.
Turning that corner would be quite the intimidating appearance.
And so would going B, because that's 4 players essentially over towards that side of the map. There's 2 players already rooted in on the site, and then 2 were in quick rotation through middle. But it's over towards A, where Fnatic are starting their late ascent. Late smoke towards this scaffolding position, just to make sure they can clear with ease, only giving them one angle to worry about. And a bit of a flubbed molly there from MADLions. So they're looking for retake utility right now. They're harassing and they're pushing. Roy's getting stuck in.
And it works so well. Oh, wow. Triple kill exchange for 1. MADLions winning that considerably.
We need to check that one out. I haven't seen teams have that clean of a retake towards the A ramp at all.
That looks so easy. That was the Fnatic setup, just completely nullified by MADLions. And that's Roy getting another kill. Ever since he's charged down the ramp, it's really been sunshine and rainbows for Roy.
We're about to jump into Skybox just to take a look at some of that utility that was dumped on the ramp. So I'm just going to go back a few seconds here. So you can see they've already clearing towards Sandbag. And now there's 4 players on A throwing utility. We're getting a Molotov here on Scaff. We're getting flashes, we're getting nades. And look at the push. 3 players all ready to peek, and A-Core even coming with the AWP. So this was an all-in mid-round maneuver. We saw and started that round with 4 players towards the B and middle side of the map.
Right.
MADLions changed it up. They took the fight, and that's a massive one to win. I love to see that type of initiative mid-round.
Flip-flopping. More than a summer holiday in South France.
They keep it.
Ooh, Brolin gives it all she's got, catching Hooksy just over the edge of the smoke. You don't see the smoke icon. I assume he had visibility.
Yeah, using it as a bit of a one-way there. So getting punished, and Hooksy only with an MP9. Maybe he was expecting an eco.
Bye. Bye. Not the second. Golden does stop Refresh from demanding all of the control of B. Now Shush does have to step up. An interesting smoke that he plans to exploit. It's good. It's a gap, but it's a frag. It could be 2. Crims goes down as well. MADLions are catapulting themselves into the lead here on Vertigo. Bomb needs to go down. They've got so much time. Golden's going to take and use as much as he can. Bomb slowly and quietly being retrieved. Now, he sets himself up on B, and you can see it's deliberate that he's hidden. He's hoping that someone takes a slightly lackadaisical info peek towards B, but Roy's very hesitant. He knows they've given up B. They'll be playing for the retake, so Brolin allowed to walk on in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the timing couldn't be worse. He spotted Shush. Golden spotted as well. MADLions are popping off. Brolin can't even control the spray on Roy. He gets himself another frag. And that's 13 for MADLions. This is getting a little bit alarming for Fnatic fans around the world.
Considering how this one started.
Yeah.
This looks like a completely different game. And that's what I was saying. If you give MADLions a chance to get back in, they only picked up 5 rounds in the first half, but that's more than enough for their individuals. They've come into this second half with confidence, and they're running away with it. The pistol round nukes, the aggressive bonus round plays, the mid-round re-aggression over towards the ramp. They are looking well drilled on their map choice, and I shouldn't be surprised saying that.
Look at this. They've gone just SMG's armor.
This is quick then.
It will be. Mac 10's bombing it and already drawing blood. Hooksy, a little red-faced, hot under the collar. They're swinging in. It should be a lot of pressure, and it definitely feels like that in the feed. It's brown on blue, looking to sweep the rest under the rug. Is Refresh, and he's hit some great shots to do so. Brolin's on the site. Super low. He's about to get dunked by Refresh. He hasn't quite calculated that one.
I think he wanted the middle throw and managed to go a little bit too far, a bit too much top spin.
Here we go. JW's in a position to totally turn the round on its head, but it definitely was controlled by Refresh. After some great openings from the Swedes, they are once again overcoming a disadvantage. Refresh, he's in a predictable spot, has been spotted, and JW's going to use that information. He knows the CT's likely going to plant their feet after being spotted.
Refresh has completely moved.
He's actually walking up short now. JW's got his knife out. He may not be anticipating this. Refresh tucked in on elevator. Bomb on the site. It's an AWP fight, though. And that's Shush's every day of the week. Double for him. And speaking of double, it's double trouble on the AWP as well. Recovered. But Refresh, this frag onto Crims very well could have determined the round.
Handy stuff there from Refresh. He has been very, very essential to this CT side. I think his disruptive play through middle in the earlier round where he took down Crims and then continued to barrel forward throws a wrench in the normal MADLions playbook. It's like, okay, well, if they're going to come with this level, we're Fnatic. We're the ones meant to be going for those type of crazy plays.
The Fnatic lurk smoke middle, which was proceeded to be walked around and double killed profited. So definitely not all good. Oh, that's scary. Finished off by Brolin. He punishes out on the tracer fire, puts some bullets into his teammate Golden, and he's so high alert. Acor could be caught on the way back. A chance for Brolin. He's got the molly. Acor knows it's going to get a little hot and bothered there. 4 versus 4, though.
Are they taking any space anywhere across the map? It doesn't look to be the case. So MADLions now are just... Oh, I say that, of course. Here we go. Refresh. This is the same aggressive play that he went for a few rounds earlier, and Flusher seems to be awares. This could come down to timing. He's opting to go the long way round, and you can see here they're going to pass each other in the night, and that could be a real problem if Flusher comes in to flank this A bomb site. They can take their time. Shush has no idea that this is possible either. A drop of a gun, it's not going to be heard.
Right.
Refresh is calling out towards B being clear. But wait, Flusher's going back. Refresh has absolutely nailed this by accident.
Hi, Flusher. All of that hard work, and it's just an AK delivery at the end of it. So they're coming up short. 3 of them. All of them. And as the smoke goes down, Acor retreats. It doesn't look like they'll be able to contest. I say that. A spray from Hooksy, a wild one into the smoke, has got the necessary frag. Crims just about gets the bomb down. Some warning shots, but held by Acor. MADLions have completely and totally locked Vertigo down. If you've just joined us, Fnatic have not got a single T round here on Vertigo. Not a single one.
This is great stuff from MADLions. We loved how organized they were just the other day versus Navi on Nuke, and they're doing it again here on another map. Vertigo, their choice this time round, and well, the game didn't start looking very good for the Danes, but now it's turned around and they are looking poised to take this one in very quick fashion. This confidence going forward into map number 2, which will be Inferno, is going to be giving them a lot of hope to 2-0 this series here today. You can see that Brolin, he's the only one who's been able to make 20 kills. Everybody else from Fnatic stuck around that 10 mark. And just harassing over towards the forklift room will be the aforementioned Brolin, but he's on his own. He's on his lonesome. He's just kind of sell a bit of a fake here as the utility continues to harass. What can you do, Fnatic? You're about to get swung on.
And that's Refresh,
Oh,
continuing to get more impact. It's insane. An assist for Hooksy on every single one. But Refresh just decides Vertigo's over. He finishes it himself, finishes it by his own hand. There are 2 remaining, and Shush admittedly squandering his first. Turning, but the flank is here, and Roy has finished it. 16-10 MADLions. Vertigo is their domain, and they show us exactly why. Fnatic don't post a single round on the attack.
You and I, we've been friends for a long time now. Always have a good time whenever we go out. But you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me junk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. It doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Feeling lost like I just wanna time back time. I'm choked up, tell me how do I say this right? Cause you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why.
More spotless.
Yeah, and I think here one of the keys for all the viewers at home, it wasn't just the A bomb site hits. Actually, there was very few A bomb site hits coming in. So I love the approach on the T side, even though it didn't net them too many rounds. But once they got going, they got the tail end of that first half under their belt. They got some confidence. And then the clean sheet on the CT side was amazing. So I actually wanted to dive into a skybox to highlight that. It's the one I did in the middle of the game, but here I actually want to go into it a little bit more detail. So first, let's establish a couple of things. If you get caught in a position like this or this on the ramp, there's not a lot of cover, right? You can't see anywhere to really hide. So let's call these areas no man's land. So you can see as well, in the early stages of this round, let me just switch on over my drawing tools, Fnatic have dropped out of smoke here. So this means that they're clearly progressing and wanting to get some A control. This Molotov, it shows commitment. They're clearing out now. And you can see, coming in for this rotation, there will be 2 more members. I'm going to pause it right here. Now you can see that you have Refresh, Hooksy, and the likes of A-Core with nades ready, and Roy ready up close and personal to make sure that nobody has pushed up to this line. Now check out what happens with their utility to follow. You're going to get some nades just to harass over towards this area here, just to soften them up. You're getting a Molotov that now lands over towards the scaffolding position. Now you think, okay, yeah, that's a good molly, whatever. But when they swing around this corner, like we can see them doing here, none of the T's can pick them from this point. They're all now, as you can see, in no man's land down here, completely flashed. Crims is the only one who has an opportunity to try and fight. But as we continue to play forward, they have 3 players ready to pick this. 1 from Crane, 1 from Sandbag, and then more men coming in to fight and get these kills. So I just wanted to highlight this because doing a mid-round retake with all of those flashes, getting them stuck in no man's land like that, that's fantastic. We don't see too many teams doing that in Tier 1 Counter-Strike whatsoever. And normally because it's so difficult and janky. And now you're getting a look at it from the in-eyes POV. Hooksy flashed on in, finding some impact, and you can see Refresh ready for the molly push. Everybody's spoken through where they need to be. Roy pushing up, taking away the space off of this push, and all in all, fantastic stuff there from MADLions.
It's really cool, and it does, of course, set the scene perfectly for what could be a very close series. Inferno's next, and that's Fnatic's pick, so...
Yeah. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
I think Fnatic, they were looking in form. They just got blown out of the water by a very well-organized CT side.
Yeah, with stuff like that. If they're getting hit by mid-round aggressions, coordinated mid-round aggressions with flight paths, everyone knows what they're doing. It is very, very satisfying. And nothing more satisfying than, of course, a DHL drop. Oh, the satisfaction of getting a box with goodies sent your way when you just typed a letter into Twitch chat. Nothing beats it. Exclamation mark DHL drop in your chat with the letter A, B, C, or D, whichever you think corresponds with the answer to which 2 Chinese teams attended iem-Beijing 2019. It's not easy. Tyloo and Invictus, Tyloo and Vici, or Vici, Invictus, and Invictus Wings Up. Okay, tough options, but that's iem-Beijing 2019, so just last year, and that was actually back in the day when we went to Beijing. Now we're hanging out here in our virtual studio. Myself, Chatty B, and Machini TV will be back after the break to bring you the second map.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
If you want to know what you're good at and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Just a vibe with you, I feel alive, now I'm feeling like up to the fine, will it stand the test of time? Right now I need a sign. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we grow closer, should this be over? My heart for your mind, probably we should start over. Tell me if it's over, am I your lover? Are we going solo? Or is it polo? Her face is saying don't go. I'm acting like I don't know. Whisper my name, say what you want, show me your thoughts. I do the same. My bread on your neck while I slowly caress. feelings in gray. It's still the same. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we grow closer? Should this be over? My heart for your mind, probably we should start over. Tell me if it's over, am I your lover? Are we going solo? Or is it polo? Her face is saying don't go. I'm acting like I don't know. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we grow closer? Should this be over? My heart for your mind, probably we should start over.
We're living for the moment now, we're one with the world. I can't lose this feeling I get. My heart's in the right place, and so is my soul, yeah. I won't take no excuses for it. Love it, need it, live it. I feel like something's missing when I do not have it. I feel it in my bones, gotta find my space. These emotions on my face, taking a toll, I gotta pay it forward. I'll give it all that I can. No matter what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. Yeah, no what, I won't let up. It's in
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GG Bet.
So we asked you before the break that DHL question, and it was a big one. Of course, which teams, two teams, Chinese teams, attended iem-Beijing 2019? The answer was, and a big drum roll fills your ears, it was Tyloo and vincere. Easy guess when you look at the way current Asian CS has been going, that battle of Tyloo and vincere. There was some crazy statistic about Tyloo's dominance there.
Yeah, I was having a look at that. I think coming into this event, vincere actually got the better of them in the last best of 3 that they played. But before that, Tyloo had won either 13 or 14, I forget the exact number, best of 3s in a row this year alone. And those two teams, if you don't watch Chinese Counter-Strike, are the best two. And ever since Tyloo have actually shifted back to a full Chinese roster, no longer Bentet, no longer Excurate, they've been looking hot. So I'm actually excited to see them clash with vincere again in this one. That's the true as well. No Peacemaker there.
No Peacemaker.
Wow.
So yeah, it turns out speaking the same language has its perks.
It does help.
Who knew? Who knew? Either way, we're here talking in English to you, English listeners, and bringing you Fnatic MADLions. It should be good. It's Inferno, and it is Fnatic's pick. So expectations are for at least a competitive, if not a third. The MADLions certainly did a lot of convincing, certainly to me, of course, on Vertigo. But how well will they transfer into Fnatic's map pick? Now, Complexity, they picked Fnatic's pick, or at least prepared for it, and it worked. But in comparison, I'm sure MADLions have got to be a little bit of a slouch. Let's see.
They played it once and they've won it once. So 100%.
That's the stat I needed to hear.
That's all they need going into this. But preparation, knowing this is most likely Fnatic's pick, can be at an all-time high. So let's see if Peacemaker and Co have been able to work any magic, as barreling down mid with aggression once more. Let's see if they can push the Swedes early.
Pushing in, Hooksy already gone. He wanted to bring the fight to Flusher, but Roy, he played anti, wanted to catch them as they pushed up second. This is chaos. The CT's so pushed up, but Flusher is just thriving in this environment. He's managed to operate a full triple kill. They are flooding into the site. Oh, he wants to finish off Flusher, but he refuses to give it to him. So the bomb goes down, and Acor has a very interesting angle from Crims to work with. Is he on top of the wall? Yeah.
Can't believe Flusher how patient he's being here. You'd think he'd want to go down as a bit of a canary in the coal mine. Is that going to draw him out to play?
Still doesn't. Still playing a very wicked game with Acor. Doesn't know where Flusher's coming from. That's because of how little he was giving. Golden does convert his second, and Fnatic will take the pistol round. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Get your strong start, convert off the back of that, so it would be in their interest now to pick up the second round. You'll see Crims operating for full util and an SMG, which does indicate that they'll be looking to punish those gaps in their head armor. Full force from 4 members of the MADLions. They'll be seeing Acor play a little more conservatively, pursuing an AWP into the buys. Here we go.
Okay, well, the smokes are fantastic for corralling teams where you want them to go, but a squad like Fnatic, being extremely well-versed on a map like this, don't tend to have too many dramas, and Banana will be one of the key areas of the map you hear us discussing. At the moment, you can see Roy and Hooksy are the two tasked with defending that, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they start lending Acor over towards B to help with the AWP picks, because you can see 2 smokes have already been milked out from Banana, and Golden wants to do even more damage and disruption. Now, traditionally, it will be Golden and Flusher working this area of the map, and they can do so without utility on their own with the SMGs, and that just makes life so difficult. If you can't stop Flusher and Golden, well, then you have to deal with the likes of Crims and Brolin over towards the apartments and boiler positions on their A side default. It's a tough task, it's a tall task, and right now they've rotated 4 players over to B to deal with this execute.
Yeah, but they've got all the right pieces in the right place, but just sprayed down. Oh, that boost got them nowhere, and nothing is working for the Danes. Roy's Deagle certainly functional, but quickly caught. Golden, 4 kills. Just 2 rounds into Inferno. The only man left was the A Lurk. Still sticking around in the middle.
I find, look, I obviously want to see the first gun round approach to have a real idea of what MADLions are going to be looking like for their defense. But the reason, and the same thing we said the other day when we were so surprised to see Fnatic float that map in the veto, is just if you take Fnatic on a map like this, especially their T sides, and you consider how well they play their mid rounds after they get map control, and I highlighted it the other day, we'll probably highlight it again today if we see it, but they are really good at these rotations of the CTs, forcing you into awkward positions, making you double guess. You go for gamble stacks where you pick the wrong site, and they can leave it very late as well. Fnatic can show indication one moment on 30 seconds left and then be on the other bomb site planning at A before you know it. So let's wait and see how much prep and how much practice MADLions could have possibly had in that small amount of time on Inferno. This would be a very massive victory if they do pick up this series 2-0. It's likely we'll be heading to Mirage as map number 3 as the decider of this series. But in saying that, Vertigo started extremely slow for MADLions. Maybe Inferno will be the same. Deagle out, Deagle down. Flusher, entry, kill, and nade to follow. So a good chunk of damage being splashed onto both Hooksy and Roy.
Yeah, that was less a splash, more a crash. That really hurt. And these won't get any easier for the CTs here. Refresh is just isolated now on that site. No one wants to be sitting there unarmored with a default pistol against 4 Fnatic members. And that's exactly the reality that he's about to be living in. Poor old Refresh. Gone but not forgotten in a matter of seconds.
And that's the round, ladies and gentlemen. Bomb will go down, and just these unarmored pistols remain. Flush is about to get a double kill. Okay, one's not bad. Golden will finish off Hooksy and Crims onto Roy. So all in all, a quick 3 rounds. And yet to frag are 3 players on the MADLions side. Shush, Hooksy, and Refresh. No damage done, or at least none that have turned out to be a frag. As I've just taken a quick note of the buys, Acor does have the AWP. Not a single defuse kit purchased up here. So if we get into a post-plant situations, MADLions maybe looking for a save in round number 4. AKs are out, Mac-10's being carried on through, and Brolin's and Golden's hands. Let's see. So they want to use those aggressively. Brolin's over towards second middle, and this is aggressive down mid. Hooksy's very quick with this, and 3 players ready to fight second middle. Do they spot Brolin?
I assume so. Yeah, he will get Molotov'd out. He tries to smoke it. Crims tries to get some warning shots fired. JW's low as well. So the CT aggression does work. They actually dunk down J-Dubs. And Brolin, spurred on by the call, is going to charge up to try and meet his squad on B. Denying the smoke. Moon walks in. Roy, he tries to get both of them. It's Flusher that finds the double. I thought this was surely going to shape up well for MADLions after all of that aggression. A failed smoke, maybe something, but bomb's already down. Crims has made sure of that.
Lot to unpack there, but do MADLions want to go for this? No kit. Oh, there's an opening.
Now they will. Flusher hadn't quite tucked into Nubox, and Akor's able to punish. Crims using that smoke to his success. He's faded now. Fades the flash. And Akor gets another. What a retake. An AWP retaking the B site. It's Brolin to clutch. They fake it, they line up. Okay, a chance, a very big one. Started to present, don't forget, no kit. As Chad highlighted, with the bomb down, you'd have thought that favored Fnatic, but Akor, he denies. And a 10-second defuse puts the first on the board for the MADLions.
All right, well, MADLions need to take a very deep breath right now and work out what type of buy they want to go into round 5 with, because getting through the skin of their teeth just there, they don't have all the weapons to work with. Meanwhile, this was merely a bonus from Fnatic. They get the bomb down again. They stimulate that economy. And Akor, well, we didn't see huge things out of him on Vertigo, but that's massive on the retake here. And Fnatic probably feeling like they should have been able to put that one away after how the round began. There was chaos towards A. They had to lean 4 players. There was the opening onto the site. The AWP for JW will be picked on up. And I want to see the head-to-head between him and Akor, both quite explosive AWPers. That's where Akor's been left, towards the top of Banana. Take a look at the radar in the top left. You can see it's a 4-man lean from MADLions over towards the A bomb site. We still have 1 minute and 25 remaining on the clock, so if Akor gets harassed whatsoever, there's a start.
Yep,
He could go down and there's trouble. He's not moving?
I'm surprised. Vulnerable to a nade exactly where that first one landed, but he's assuming Fnatic wouldn't count on someone just staying put. Golden starting to advance, and this is quite the crossfire he'd be walking into. Util's going to determine the outcome. Pre-fires Roy and nearly gets Hooksy. Oh, wow. Just like that, the round is won, the round is done. Akor left alone. It might even be Flusher that's waiting for him. Akor's got the quick reactions to at least keep hold of his weapon.
Good luck, my friend.
We nearly did the cool move.
Well, they still have to get the bomb, so if they didn't actually smoke this, maybe there could have been a couple more in the shooting gallery, but he has to worry about his flank. Guess who's already in CT? It's Golden. He's coming to lock this one off. So Akor, there's no avenue of escape. How are you getting out of this one?
Killing Golden and hiding coffins.
Ooh. Okay, 35 seconds to hold on to the AWP. The vice grip is coming, all sides.
It's a fun mini game for Akor here. The AWP save simulator.
20 seconds.
Right eye.
Oh.
Valiant attempt from Akor. Hunted from every angle. And some of the most experienced hunters in the business are Fnatic.
Yeah, and MADLions now, even though they did manage to muster a round, they're in a bit of financial trouble. This was a great job clearing out towards top middle from Fnatic. You can see that Molotov, it locked them in. The smoke also segregated that arch side defense. And I did like the way that MADLions wanted to approach that round. I think considering the weapons they had, Akor with all the banana control that he was able to pick up with the AWP, having the 4 men trying to lock down mid control against Fnatic, it makes a lot of sense. They can't toy with the rotations if you lock top middle, but if you don't get any kills, well, you're giving them the round right there and then. So MADLions have taken the save. 2 HEs, but can't lob them out with that molly. Managed to get one over the half wall. Flusher baited that one. And Akor, he's been taken down by Brolin. So it seems like it's a 4-man pack again with Akor and his lonesome, and this time it'll just be a blender from Golden, 3 to his name. Flusher finishes it off, and that's 5-1 on the scoreboard now is we do have Hooksy yet to frag. And I mentioned before, he did have a rough time on Train versus Navi. Bit of a slower start from him here. Maybe MADLions need to lose a bunch of rounds here before they get going. Buy back through. This time we have a kit, just a single one in the hands of Shush. Utility is light for Acor, but he does have the AWP. And this is a decent buy from MADLions. I wouldn't say they have everything they would like, but they're as close as they're going to be going into round 7. Scoreline 5-1. And Acor wants a pick. Scoped up so the sound cue can't be heard. And he knows that Brolin and Crims love to default boiler and halls. If he finds an opening and gets away.
What a gamer. He wants the bedroom fight, and he does get it. He tags Brolin and loses his life. Can't help but feel he's a bit hard done by there. He fired his bullet and he connected it, but CSGO not on Acor's side tonight. 5-1 already in favor of Fnatic and losing their star AWPer in the 7th round of play certainly indicates this one will be up against the odds.
Look at this. This is exactly the smoke I'm talking about. Stay with Golden Forest Rush while we round the corner. This smoke right here, it makes it so difficult with the rotations for the CTs. You have to play over towards Speedway, and that leaves, well, plays like this open. Hooksy's 2-2'd onto the B site. Golden now making noise, and it will be the B split. It's a good find.
Ash, very good find. It means they can focus all of their attention on this B pincer. Hooksy's hoping they walk through the smoke. Or maybe as it fades, he can catch them with guns now. Just unloads. He's fully flashed, and Roy's there with him. Desperately spraying. Roy's got them both. Looks like MADLions have managed to stabilize. And Refresh is coming up behind. JW wasn't ready.
They got the AWP as well, so Shush has picked that up. They'll be able to get that back in Acor's hands, and this is good because, look, it's obviously very early, and a lot of people out there are going to, you know, consider what I'm about to say to be a little bit silly. But with MADLions being a new team, if they are going to lose Inferno, I think for the betterment of them in the series, it's better if they lose the map in a more of a blowout fashion than it to be super close and bad for their mental state. Like if they're, you know, up and it's close and they lose a couple of close ones because of poor communication or in retakes or something like that, then I think that will frazzle them going into a long series.
Well, yeah, especially because we've got a whole 3rd map awaiting. Should Fnatic pick this one up?
Crims has the Krieg again. I really am interested to see some use out of this.
Yeah, we haven't had a round yet, have we? From Crims's Krieg. I mean, we've had the buy, just haven't had the success, and Roy's gone down.
Yes, it's just getting peppered through that smoke.
Huge. Again, every time we, just as we're about to start writing MADLions out of a round or start suggesting a foreboding feeling, Refresh bails him out, and he's been found by Gold and denies it through the molly. Here coming A. Flush has got the responsibility of Banana as always. There's the Crims Krieg. And this one just feels all too easy for Fnatic. They're getting the 1v1s. Everyone's winning their duel. And again, it's Acor and Banana just wondering what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, you can just see how comfortable Fnatic look on the T side here. Obviously, it helps getting kills through smoke, through the boards. You love those. You'll take those every day of the week. And now at this point, they may as well start chasing and see if they can find Acor and the AWP. Crims is already on the look, on the hunt. Acor trying a bit of a different position this time round, tucked in towards the T-side house and the kitchen, but that's where Crims is coming from. So if he is extremely diligent here and clears all these corners, he will find Acor, but that's the question. Will Crims search every little nook and cranny? Yes, he will, but the AWP rings out. That's a big frag for Acor, but now the jig's up. They know where he is. They can hunt him down. They can try and isolate, and JW is doing exactly that. He's going to Molotov him out of position here. That's going to land a little bit too deep, so Acor, he'll get to stand his ground. Bomb will go off, and he should hold on to the AWP unless JW does that.
We've had a couple of tense AWP saves. We had JW's denied. This time he's the one to do the denying.
Oh, that's so frustrating right there as MADLions have taken a timeout.
This was just a straight spray, straight through the smoke. And JW, I can't believe he's gone away with that.
That's murder right there.
That is ridiculous. Assassin's Creed style. Jumping off the bridge. Oof. All right, you earned that one. A shrug of the shoulders.
Oh dear.
2-6. That's the first timeout called by MADLions, and I'm certainly intrigued to know what the conversation leads to. Will there be a buy? 3 members on sketchy situations. 2,900 loss bonus. It's like that horrible middle ground. It likely will be MP9s and rifles.
If they feel that they need all the goodies, I'm talking a full buy for everybody. It will just be this partial limping that we're seeing. So
7-2, Chad.
I know, but look, if they can get back and get 6 in the half, it gives them a chance to win pistol and convert. It's just I think that a huge part of keeping Fnatic honest is forcing them through all the utility and banana. So we're talking multiple Molotovs, multiple HEs. You need your smokes to crowd control, so you don't just have to rely on one player to be there. You don't need to put the bodies forward, and they've opted here to make sure they do get that full buy. Now look, they are putting themselves in a bit of a hole. Maybe they can make a meal of this one. A meal's a bad thing, and they got 2 kills. That's not terrible. Going to just be the last 3 members of MADLions rotating in to do any more financial damage. They're using their smokes. They may as well give this one a crack. Low HP on Golden and Flusher. There's always a world, but if they get a move on now, might be able to find more.
Yeah, JW's just taking pot shots and they're not too far off. Whoa, pushing through the smoke, wildly spraying. It's not a good look. They're giving it all she's got though, and that's a big frag from Acor. Need to get someone on the bomb. Now they find it. And I think they've got the time. It's right on the nose, though.
Pick up the guns you can and get on out of dodge, because if you don't have it, you don't want to be going down with the bomb. Acor's getting a move on. This is going to be close.
So close. No! Half a second in it. Fnatic take it. I thought they had enough. Acor did the right move to pull himself out the site, but for a half buy, it goes down to a complete and total elimination of Fnatic. It's keeping their money honest a little bit, shaving some frags off. But look at this. Let's see if there was a second delay in it.
Look at this.
Caramba. That's nuts.
Yeah, you're going to be really disappointed with how that one unfolded. That was a very good attempt there from MADLions.
Well, let's see if this having all the Ghiblies helps. They're going for a mid-charge. Look at this. 3 members of Fnatic charging forward, but they've got banana. That's one way to do it, Chad. Just fight.
Okay, well, they've given up a lot of territory over towards A. Immediately, Fnatic
look at the punish.
Space.
They are punishing hard. Acor, what can you do? He's got to hold library side. Shush responsible for short.
Look at the mollies in the side as well. Acor's in the flames.
Roland, that's really, really important. Julie's taking. Shush is trying to keep him at bay. A flash long for his teammate. And that's important. Again, with Refresh's impact. He's found 2 frags from the CT arch, and he's completely cut them down, slowed them down. Fnatic no longer have an advantage.
And they think they're pinned in as well. Expecting the push to have come all the way down banana just to lock them in place. You can see the eyes trained as JW searches with the AWP. He has a chance here. When's he going to fire? Jump again, Hooksy, I dare ya.
Oh, what? Roland with 30 HP wins the duel. Now Shush is tagged. He could burn. Shush needs 1 here. Otherwise, Acor can easily get overwhelmed. Roland's coming from apps. A smoke deployed at the perfect time. They have to find Shush. He's desperately pre-firing and he finds the one he needed. Acor, the deagle switch, phenomenal. Krim shuts him down. Numbers do favor the CTs. Refresh into the site. Krims has the bomb and he's got time. We saw what he's capable of, a 1v4 versus complexity not too long ago. Oh, he's expecting on top of the box. Refresh is tucked in on the corner. Has he called it clear in his brain? He has. He assumed it was clear, and so Refresh with even more impact. I'd love to see that Acor double.
Yeah, jumping up on the box there. Massive risk for Acor to take, but a very essential one. As that was a round of chaos. Here you see it leaping up. Whew, trying to save his teammate Shush in the pit, and even the follow-up with the deagle. So we spoke about his movement. We spoke about how flashy Acor can be, and that's the impact he's going to need going forward in this half. Able to salvage that AWP yet again, the MADLions. But Fnatic shouldn't be too disappointed with that. I know that their money now is a little bit more disarray because of how close round number 9 was, all their bodies going down. But they're controlling this game. 7-3 is the scoreline. You've got Golden leading the charge, and we said we wanted to see more from his impact. Well, 14 kills to the name. You're seeing it here, and Fnatic will be taking a tactical timeout to discuss their options. I think that they could invest here, you know, with Mac 10s again and have quite a quick paced rounds of things if they want. I feel like B's an easy bomb site for them to punish. Hooksy and Roy holding over towards that bomb site, and Hooksy only has 1 kill. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe they'll look for more punishes, as it will just be one of those partials. 2 Tech 9s, a Glock for JW. Deagle for Flusher and a Mac 10 in the hands of Crim. So this one here could get competitive. It's a very early Molotov towards top mid, and I think that's in response to these smokes that we've seen thrown out from Fnatic to crowd control over towards Arch. Huge shot.
Oh, takes the time to adjust. Catches got one through the wall.
Flick at the wrist.
Flick at the wrist. They are charging up towards Banana though, and there is a very passive hold on Banana, so utility in vain and limited utility at that. Fnatic will try and finish on that B site, or at least posturing to do so. Prims could contact this, you know, walk up, see how much he'll get. It's potential that Refresh will have a look. He's currently anti, but as the utility starts to get deployed, seems all the more likely that Crims won't find too much. Yeah, meets Roy, quickly traded. Refresh continues to save MADLions. A quick triple, stopping that from getting out of hand.
It's good to see Refresh in such like a rock position, and we've spoken about him in the past. He's had a bit more experience. He played in an Optic roster with Tessus of Heroic fame. MSL was on there. Config, who's now with Complexity, and Nico of Heroic as well was part of that roster, I do believe. So you're going back to playing with some of the Danish stars of current days. He even got a chance to stand in lieu of Golden in the Cloud9 roster in a Blast tournament. And going all the way back to Frags, this is where we first remember Refresh. So he's had quite a career in a short period of time, but now he's getting a shot again towards the upper echelons, and that's with MADLions, who they want a couple more rounds, and they might have a chance to do so. An average looking buy from Fnatic, a Galil, and damage done from the Silenced M4 down to one of the AKs. So you've got Crims on a Deagle. Golden hemorrhaging a little bit in the early stages. Utility is looking pretty, and we might see Fnatic go back for that mid control where they won against that 4 stack. So expect a Molotov over towards Porch, smoke towards Arch. And once they get brackets control, they can start playing out this mid round. There's the mollies. Oh, he has to be careful. Speculative shots through the smoke has seen him go down towards Banana, and nade harassment towards top mid. MADLions has to be ready for a play like this. The flash is good, the pressure's on.
And Roy loses his head fast. That's a big double from Refresh. He keeps delivering another. 3 kills from him. His timing just swings into quad at the perfect moment. And Fnatic left breathless.
He's bailing him out of some big situations here. This should be 5. And I say should because if anybody you want to be alive in a clutch situation, it would be Flusher. We saw MADLions drop an absolute sitter the other day to Simple and his brilliance. Flusher only has 25 seconds to work with and a Galil in hand, but if he takes down Hooksy, that's going to open the B bomb site. The nade, it's going to give away the plan, the smoke to delay, but Flusher has to push, and he will. Hooksy deals with it. That'll be the last kill of the round. And it'll be the second there for Hooksy, the new in-game leader of MADLions, as MADLions now are up to 5 rounds. So we're starting to get a half out of this. Here's Refresh with the save. It feels like he's a goalkeeper. You know, he's just there defending the net at all times, making sure that they're not letting too many in. And we get back underway. Just the pistols for Fnatic here. 4 Deagles, a Glock for Flusher. And aggressive AWPing from Acor. I think we saw JW hit that shot against Poison.
Yeah, we did.
So Acor needs to be careful.
It's definitely in his repertoire. Good nade. Just softens up any of the second mid arrivals.
Big decision to make there as well for JW. I know it seems like it's just a Molotov, but he could either play forward of that and get mopped on up or drop back. So they want to have a bit of survivability here, Fnatic. More utility being thrown on out from MADLions. Just left with 2 smokes, a handful of flashes, and a HE. So Fnatic are making this one costly, and they're yet to find any kills. As soon as all this utility has transpired, then it just becomes about the jewels. And, well, there's every chance these Deagles can hit some headshots. Fnatic's aim.
How dare you build this round up?
Well, I feel there's a chance. There's always a chance.
I mean, there's always a chance, but MADLions, they do have a bit of a situation. Seems like that situation's been resolved. You'll never guess who. The usual candidate. Bailing him out, triple kill, issue solved. Golden, just the last man, and he's the one on the other side of the map, just locked out by their smoke, hoping he can find something before he goes down. It doesn't look too likely as the speculative shots in the smoke continue. Oh, he's been found, brought down to 7, just as it fades. All right, MADLions are doing exactly what we saw on Vertigo, turning it around on that CT half, albeit a little later this time.
If they get 8 here, Alex, I'm going to be very impressed because this is one of the best maps for Fnatic.
I mean, this was, let me get it right, 7-2.
So
7-2 now, sitting at the potential for an equalizer.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised to see it. And look, this is a CT bias map, but once again, MADLions haven't had a long time as a unit since the addition of Hooksy and Refresh. And they're going up against Fnatic, who, let's be honest, they haven't had the best results in the last couple of months whatsoever. But you would still have to consider this team dangerous, right? They're a team who, if they're all hitting their form, they could win a trophy. They're not at that point where you look at these players and go, oh, they're burnt out. You're not getting constant, terrible performances. They're always threatening. And it's because they have just, I think, a wealth of experience within the core of the team. They still are able to maintain fantastic performances of the likes of Crims. We saw that just the other day when he literally stood there and had a boxing match with Config, on Inferno, just going like round after, even in rounds.
Punch harder, yeah.
And we know what Brolin can do, an absolute little animal. We do have a bit of a pause. Rush, what are the server conditions looking like down there on the field?
They're looking pretty good. There was a few things typed in the chat. There was a monitor problem for Shush. However, Flusher is changing his VPN right now, and it looks like Flusher has connected, so we'll be underway shortly.
Wonderful. Anything else going in for you, Rush? How are you feeling today?
Not much. Everything's going pretty all right. Just chilling out, having a good time. I think I might maybe play some Danger Zone late. I'm not sure, though.
How'd you feel about the Danger Zone games last night?
Yeah, they were pretty good. We had some very rough times in a lot of early game situations, but if we made it to late game, we won them.
Lots of ground warriors last night.
Oh, a lot. Everyone's a ground warrior these days. We see some bumpers every now and then. You got kind of goombed yesterday in a little way, but, you know, it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he surfed on top of my head.
Yeah.
That wasn't a great death. I didn't like that one. All right, well, we're not back underway just yet, but hopefully not too long. As you can see, Crims has opted in for that Krieg again. And maybe you're newer to Counter-Strike and you think, well, you saying it's not a good gun. Why is he buying it? Well, we haven't seen teams really opt to use it a lot since it's been nerfed. Now, 2019 was the year of the AUG and the Krieg, and they ran rampant throughout competitive CS. The scope, as well as the firing rate, I guess the penetration with the AUG as well against the head armor, was such a good reason to buy it, as well as that price point. So things have been changed. Valve have nerfed it, or I suppose tried to balance it. The AUG, we're definitely seeing more and more use on the CT sides.
Yeah.
But the Krieg, it's going to be more of a specialist gun. And to see it used on Inferno, that's quite curious to me. The firing rate has been nerfed significantly. The scope does help, but, you know, I could see, okay, maybe if I used it on Nuke in Yard and I want to take some fights against Orpers or Train, and then let's say I go down Pop Dog and I want to fight someone towards Ivy or Ivy down the lane, there's a couple of options there that I think might be suitable. But on Inferno, I just want to see what Crims has been working on, because I know he's a monster. He wouldn't be buying it unless he had a good reason to.
Yeah, I imagine must be working out well in practice. We'd probably get, you know, if we were to ask about it, he'd just go, yeah, it's a good gun. I tried it in practice, you know, and he's probably had a couple of good games on it that we haven't seen, that haven't been in the public domain. And it's enough to convince him to whip it out here in the officials. This was Flusher's ridiculous smoke shot, just using that tracer fire and his own big brain to time that spray. JW was up to some crazy antics, denying AWPs, saved by Acor. And all round, it started very strong. I remind you, 7-2. In fact, there's the scoreline. This is when things started to shift thanks to Acor's spanking Deagle. And then we see MADLions and Refresh in particular, really with some impact frags. I think this is a great, actually, highlight reel, just to kind of display the match so far. Some real impact felt. And the scoreboard tells that story as well. It is as easy as 1, 2, 3, his average damage per round. 16 kills as well for Refresh. So him and Acor, with 30 frags combined, the rest of his team have what, 12? Let me see. Yeah, 13.
So I'm still just waiting to get this one back underway. Shush has rejoined, hopefully not too long. And what we'll do is we'll give you guys a bit of a schedule update tomorrow. We've had to move some things around. The 3 o'clock start time for Navi versus Team Spirit has been moved to 6:30, that's CET. And the Team Vitality versus Fnatic or MADLions game, that's the winner of this one right here, has been moved to the following day. That will be Thursday, the 12th of November. And that one's start time will be 3 p.m. CET. So if you are worrying or wondering when those games were going to go down, that's just a little schedule adjustment As we're back underway here in round 14, aggressive again. We saw this play earlier. It didn't quite work out. Can it this time as Refresh doesn't get the entry. JW gets the better and Shush. Oh, he gets a trade.
Ooh, there's Shush waking up. Doubles his kills in a matter of seconds and, well, got a little lustful for the next. It was JW that denies the third and he gets himself the equalizer.
Akor's on this side alone. There's no worse weapon for the job than the AWP, but maybe in his hands he can make some magic happen. All comes down to timing and what his gut tells him to move with.
Yeah, he's so vulnerable to balcony. I completely understand his passive stance. Now dropping his util, wants to get the Fnatic squad on their toes. Moving back towards balcony, and what an adjustment. Catches Golden's cursory glance. And that enables Akor now to tuck on in.
Still coming forward. I thought they might drop away from the AWP and be a little bit scared, but it looks like Fnatic want to try and push the issue on the A bomb site. Oh, I say that, of course. Flush is going for a bit of a fakey boy maneuver, dropping out whatever smokes he can.
He's hoping that makes him think it's a B rotate. Oh, Akor. Dude, JW.
I don't know if JW spotted him.
I don't think so. I think he was looking to clear pit. Akor has info now. Info that Fnatic are not aware of. So all this time passing, it only enables the rotate more. Jiggle. Oh, and finds the angle. That's big from JW. The bomb will be on its way to be planted. JW did get brought down to 23, but look at the moves. Gets himself up on Graveyard, a complete repositioning as the bomb goes down. There could be a gap in their communications now, Roy. Is he ready for JW in Graveyard? No, he's not. And that's another frag for the Swede. He's on for the ace. He's having such a game here. Big brain plays. Hooksy's down, and it's JW with 4.5. Flusher denies the ace, but it's all Fnatic anyway. 8 for them as they do find the necessary. It's been a while since we saw JW's name in the feed from 4 kills. Takes the first while Flash. This was the second. Woof!
All right, JW, that second shot was nuts. Well, great stuff here from JW. You can see just how comfortable he was moving around the map. No dramas, circle jumping out of halls, getting his way up in towards Graveyard, and stealing a round away from MADLions, who worked hard with their initial aggressive maneuver. And this time they've gone for another gamble. 4 men over towards the top of Banana. Lots of nades down towards the base. Some flubbed HEs, but all in all, it's just to set up Roy and Hooksy for the second wave, for that second drubbing of utility down Banana, but nobody's home to receive. They're the ones actually copying the damage as eventually nades will be lobbed down through the smoke. Golden now forcing the issue up with the Mac-10. Gotta be careful of this here, MADLions. If they overstay their welcome, Golden might just run in.
Yeah, one would imagine so.
Bit of a fake being sold there. As you can see, the rotation's now been drawn out of B. Hooksy's been left alone. Roy's actually floated all the way into spawn, and Hooksy might go down here. I think he will.
Yeah, he's very vulnerable. They might just throw Golden at him. And he actually hits a flashed off shot onto Hooksy. It's not enough to convert the kill, though. We stay level. There's the typical Fnatic smoke Chad's been banging on about. And there is the response. Refresh has to have a little look. JW was holding it. And now they can use that smoke to wrap straight into Akor. Got a lot of moves to make. He is going to strafe over and use this elevated position to have a bit of an element of surprise. He misses his shot, though, and Crims is ready to punish. I like the idea. Roy, Hooksy. B site's yours. You've got to prove it, though. And there's the bomb. Nearly converts. Dinks him up. It's going to be a question of timing for Hooksy, but Flusher just solves the problem. 9-6 on the half. JW's final shot rattling through. But MADLions, they close the gap at least. See what the second half has in store.
still around. But there's something in the distance. I wanna know what it's like. Don't worry, I'm still with you all the time. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I could be. Build me up, ease my peace. Figure out by all the parts that made me. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I could be. Build me up, ease my peace. Figure out by all the parts that made me. Something's coming.
Day 4, we return with iem-beijing online. Crims and Fnatic, 9 to the good on their map pick. Trying to take it to the MADLions, whose vertigo performance caught everyone a little off guard.
Ashley, how are you feeling about your prediction, mate?
Not very good.
Who did you go for?
Fnatic.
Oh, not feeling good. You think we could see a MADLions swing here on the T side?
I definitely think so, yes. Refresh is looking crisp.
He is, he certainly is. But this is T side. We've definitely seen well-drilled T sides from MADLions in the past. Let's see if this T side pistol fills us with confidence. As I've seen many a CZ tear up on A takes. Brolin just parks himself in towards that bedroom position and gets 3 kills. I've seen it many times. I wonder if today we get another CZ spray down on a pistol round.
Well, they're noisy. He's already
heard it. And it is a chance for JW. He gets away, and that's half the victory already. But is it all fate? They just completely... Oh, my God.
I love it. They forced out a lot here for the Fnatic side of rotation, utility. They've got ants in their pants, and it's a quick B here. The smoke's already in CT.
from spawn. You can see the trail of it. Perfect pop flash. Gets them into the site. The smoke guises them. Golden does do well as he bunny hops successfully away. But the bomb will get planted. And now it's down to MADLions. It's down to Hooksy as well. He's got a lot to hold. He does find him. Now it gets interesting. Pushing in. Roy needs a fresh mag. Acor 2. Crim's long range. Hooksy's having a pistol, and Roy is there for the ride as well. A double for both of them. MADLions, they handled that. They had a numbers disadvantage for that retake, but it didn't feel like it.
That's exactly what MADLions needed in this game, and they took the fight to Fnatic. If they sat back of the side, the USPs would have closed them on down, and Hooksy with some impact. He had a quiet first half, but you can see how important that is. The coach Peacemaker celebrating loud enough for the entire team, and Fnatic have to opt in with the force buy. Pistols for them, this is going to be a special round, because Fnatic and the force buys on the second, well, they have a history together. And if MADLions can get through this one cleanly, in similar fashion as to what they did on their CT side of Vertigo, we have a game. But if they wobble here, if they get tested and drop this one, I fear that the Danes might be quickly being pushed out of map number 2.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on this one. I completely agree.
Hooksy's copped a lot of Molotov damage there as well.
Here comes the Pokeball from Flasher. Who do you reckon?
I think he's going to cop it right down the gob here, old Hooksy.
He's distancing himself comfortably.
Socially?
Socially as well. They're hoping that that single smoke would be enough to bait Flasher's nade out. He is standing vigilant, not giving them anything. Oh, go on. That nade would have done so much damage. It still will.
Oh.
Boom!
No, that is horrible for 3 members.
Using the smoke to get it out.
Oh, they're in so much trouble now, MADLions.
Oh, man, it doesn't feel like they just won the pistol.
Not at all.
Suddenly they're the ones at the disadvantage. There's more where that nade came from, just to soften them up even more. Okay, Hooksy, he does draw first blood. They're heading back to B. It was Shush, excuse me. They got that frag.
This is so dangerous, though. Golden has the deagle. Belly shots is all he needs. Brolin's taking space. He's going to call this. They're going to be able to keep 2 players on the B bomb site and rotate over very quickly.
If Golden gets a really clean shot onto the first offense, it will likely be refresh.
Alex, flusha has a nade.
Oh my god, he does. If he does get the right timing, he does well onto Golden. That nade load no longer as much of a threat. 8 seconds, if he can deny that plant. Oh, he's going to.
He's low.
He's done it. He wins the round with the nade alone. There's no time. Just like that, the Pokeball comes back with a vengeance, as does Brolin's Deagle. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Roy's got $100.
Oh,
dies after time as well.
That is nightmare scenario. Absolute worst case.
Wowzers, trousers. It's Hooksy, of course. Roy was right there as well. He could have caught the nade as well.
Oh, boy, that for MADLions is going to be gut-wrenching, and the laugh of Golden says it all. Oh, boy. That all comes down to the early damage that Hooksy took in Bananas to the Molotov. He gets softened up as the round goes on, and MADLions, they look like they had recovered, but now they have to force buy back. Now they have to try and contest with Fnatic on their comfort zone. It looks like it's going to be a 3-man Halls pop here as they've quickly taken space. 1:30 on the clock and 2 towards pit and balcony to receive. Fnatic are set up.
Good handling of the first, but Brolin eventually, okay, gets his double. Not the prettiest. Didn't need to be, doesn't need to be. Hang on.
Wait.
Roy and Refresh have just taken down 2 of the hardest hitters. MP9 stops the bomb plant, but there are still better weapons on the T side, and Roy continues to pop off. 3 kills, this time with the rifle. The Tech 9 did the first 2. flusha, can you clutch up? He's already won 1 round with his nade. Now he can win it with the MP9. He knows Roy's in graveyard, a fake plant. He's been spotted out. He's desperately hoping to catch Roy. Don't forget, no armor. They can lose this. And he's already dunked him down to 1 HP. This is so scary. He's pushed in and Acor takes the head off, but flusha is a Disney villain. He really is. It's just a foreboding feeling when he's in the server.
I think, you know, for Roy right there, after going down in the previous with no loss bonus to get 3 massive kills, for his confidence sake, that has to be huge. You can see here flashed on up and then able to control the rotations, and then the final frag from the site here, popping up his head, the Famous from Acor.
Oh, God damn, what a game. What a game, what a game.
Well, this is actually really good news now, because the money situation for Fnatic, it's not great. They've now been put back down to the min loss bonus of 1,400. They will opt in with a force again, but if this can be better handled, and with pace this time from Hooksy, found an opening, make it a second.
He's reloaded on the go, and it cost them their life. 2 Deagle kills on the repeat. They stacked 2, make it 4 members on B. It is going to charge into A, though, so unless Brolin's Deagle's really well sharp. Interesting.
There's a gap in that.
Yeah, he tries to exploit it, but now they know there's a Deagle on site, and it's shush to find him. How the bomb can go down. Go in.
So they want to give this a shot. They've saved an M4. Well, they've picked up an M4, but holding it through to the next round might be the best option.
So flusha has been given the fun job of do as much damage as he can.
If he goes back through Banana, he can find a Mac 10.
Okay.
So maybe that's what he's looking for.
That's less exciting.
But what is exciting is JW can drop a Deagle. If flusha gets the Mac 10, he can drop a Deagle as well. And a round that was going to be a full eco becomes more and more interesting. So exactly that. You're going, hello, I found it. There you go. Working as a team. Who would have thought? JW and flusha. One of the longest standing duos we have in Counter-Strike. Actually, they've been split up for a little while.
Yeah, but we just forget about that.
Yeah, that was like the bad breakup.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, like when they say, like, how long have you guys been together? And they say, well, like, well, 5.
Well, we dated and then...
So it's like 5 years, really, total. But, like, probably 1. You always hear that conversation.
Okay, well, at least this buy is looking decent for Fnatic. It could have been just the USPs or just a couple of upgraded P250s, but instead, they actually have somebody,
okay, MADLions,
everybody working on
Promise
something.
me, MADLions, you won't lose to this.
Please, man.
Please, man.
Hey, Rush, give us your best please, man.
Please, man, please.
It's better. It's good.
This is quite nice.
Please, man. Drop AVP, please, man. Just like that.
Yikes.
Just like that. Okay, but JW, the armored M4, becomes now Crim's unarmored M4, and Acor is disrespecting smokes against Fnatic. Surely checks his left. He does, and flusha was really not expecting that. He had his knife out.
Excuse-moi?
Yeah, odd. Very odd. Flusher's off angle, I guess, is enough. And now there's an AK in play. MADLions, you promised me. You promised me. And now they're taking individual duels. I'm nervous as hell. Refresh is in the smoke. He's trying to catch Flusher as he redeploys it, and he will get it. Flusher, smoke tricks against him. Taste of his own medicine. And Refresh now has access to B.
Okay, so Fnatic right now can actually plant their feet, wait for MADLions to make the next move. They still have this M4 in Crim's hands, and Brolin is still alive, but it's just Golden over towards B, and he is getting pincered on in here. Refresh has made a couple of steps. He's locked off rotations, but can't go down.
Oh, okay, yeah, pause. That's the pause I was hoping to see. So now Golden has to deal with more targets than just the one. 3 to find. Hooksie's head visible and knocked off his shoulders. It will be an AK and a bomb retrieval. They can't pressure the plant, so this goes down regardless. And now, Chad, I'll let you take the mic because it gets awkward for Fnatic. They got an M4 and an AK, no armor.
They're buying next round, make it expensive, give this one a crack. This is a decent shot of throwing MADLions' money back into disarray, and 2 of their hardest hitters still alive.
Okay, so this really does come down to that shot from Brolin. Suddenly, Refresh has to win the round. He's got enough. They don't have armor, but they have got enough in Crims. He gets the frag, gets the trade, and MADLions have lost the one round they really couldn't afford to lose.
Yeah, that one right there is going to be haunting them. The flush and nade, the miracle rounds. That one you can scrap off, but this one here, it got messy. It felt like they gave away way too many liberties, and then in the dying seconds, the final moments of this round, unable to hit the shots they had to. Acor, I'm not sure what was happening here, overstepping the mark as Mac-10 in the face, both getting caught off guard as Flush are able to course correct the quickest. And now Fnatic, they're in the driver's seat to close this out. The plant, it's great. It means MADLions can remain competitive in the later stages of this game. But Fnatic, with the confidence, knowing they're winning the gimmies, well, now they can win the gun rounds. They've got a full buy. AWP for JW, AWP for Acor. Somehow we've ended up in a gun round.
Somehow, some way, W has opened up the fray.
Hooksie's having a rough one.
Hooksie, yeah, sent to the Shadow Realm. Oh, and one of their best. Refresh, knocked down to 28 points of health. That nade landed right on the top of his toes. Never want to write out Acor, though. And he's got his pop flash lined up and ready. Hi, Refresh here, looking to equalize.
He is looking crispy. If they get back into this, Refresh needs a pat on the back or maybe a pay rise for the day, an extra bonus. Give him some per DM to operate with tomorrow.
Get some pizza money.
It does look like they're setting up for a B executors. They are trying a little bit of a boost.
I knocked off my chair.
He knocked him off coffins, and this is the B bomb side open. JW has to move over, and look, he needs to get there quick.
Oh, it's rare you see a boost over the smoke like that entering B, and now they swing on him. This is great from MADLions, undeterred by such a heartbreaking loss in the round prior. Picking themselves up, dusting themselves off. Shush needs to get out of dodge.
Now.
He's even being wallbanged. Tucks in just in time. Crim's nearly finishing off the job. I'm sketched out. I'm sure he is too.
They need to be careful, Fnatic here. It's only 1,400 loss bonus. They need to save. They need to get away. And you can see that actually leering out of the sight. Brolin gets tickled on up, and that's going to force them to let go of those shift keys and start running as fast as their little legs will take them, because MADLions have just snatched one away. And that combined, Refresh and Acor with 2 great kills after Hooksie's initial death. JW is going to be sitting there thinking, mate, I got us the opening kill. What else do I have to do? That's the impact you want from JW. Your safe pair of hands riflers are meant to be able to close out the rounds. And now it's 10 to 11 in favor of Fnatic here. Their map pick, it is map number 2. And here's the initial shot. Minute 42 on the clock as he's gone for a repick onto middle. And yeah, the in-game leader taken out early. You are just frustrated. You feel almost helpless. You can still talk, you can still help, but you can't put your body on the line. And that's a great shot there as well. Tagging down JW, making the chase of Roy all that much more possible. And with that 1,400 loss bonus, Fnatic are working with scraps.
I've never seen a carpet more conference roomy than that carpet right there. I look at it and I know that is a conference room. That carpet isn't sold for anything other than conferences.
That was made by a very practical person. They're not worried about, you know, anything else other than the practicality.
To be patterned. It needs to look high quality, but also stain resistant. And so the conference carpet's born.
And occasionally there'll be a Christmas party. The red wine will come out.
Wine. You don't want any white stripes on that carpet. We need a nice kind of a dirty burgundy. But regardless, that's the end of our carpet analysis. And we do see the very fast CT smoke thrown out by Hooksie. We saw them use it earlier in the piece. This time it's actually topped Banana. He's capable of throwing both.
All right, well, while we have a couple of seconds to settle into this round, because MADLions actually look like they're taking their time against this buy, if Fnatic lose this round and are unable to save any guns, they're only going to have a $1,900 loss bonus. It means that MADLions can actually, if they convert against the low buy, get themselves the lead in this game right here. Be the first time, I do believe. Deep nade in the back pocket of Acor. But this round is really going to simmer down for a moment. It looks like a slow default is being employed. You can see that there's still 2 smokes to operate with from Fnatic. Keep your eyes on Brolin and Crims. They are both over towards A. I say that. Crims is going over towards B. So that utility will be very important to help bolster the defense with Flusher. Has a smoke to operate with as well. But these are so sketchy for MADLions. It always feels like they're operating from the dark. You know, when they're heading in, they haven't isolated players. They haven't taken too much map territory. Sure, right now they have Banana, but they don't have brackets control, and there's 40 seconds left.
Guys can take it now. So Golden with only a deagle. Last time Flusher got the jump on him just by sitting in this archway. And it's unlikely that will happen again. Oh, he did get the timing, just didn't get the deagle shot, and so on the repeat, he is eliminated. Shush.
Oh,
that was a crucial adjustment. That was JW, and Brolin's M4's done nothing. Does dunk Shush in the end, but it is just going to be an AK preserved. They're on the wrong site, and so MADLions do collect 11. Perhaps Rush's doubtful seeds were rightfully sown. This is going to be, what now, 5 for MADLions on the T side. We've seen 2 successful Fnatic rounds, and one of them was a ratty nade from Flusher, basically a 2v4.
Yeah, and that's wild when you think about the fact that Fnatic, the rounds that they've posted have been low
A bomb
buys.
plant denial and a bomb defuse.
Yeah, so these haven't been clean gun rounds whatsoever. MADLions, when we're actually getting and looking at the details of the full buy rounds, have actually gotten the better of Fnatic so far in this second half. So with the bomb going off, Acor, they're just giving the AWP over in case he goes down to the bomb here. We'll have 5 HP. Just want to double check there. I don't want to be losing that flying out of the map somewhere wild.
Yeah, I like that they're even talking about it.
You can do it in spawn as well, so not too many worries right there as JW jumps to line up his nade, gets a deep little dunk, and this shot right here, extremely important from Acor to hit that, because if Golden repeaks and finds any damage, maybe it slows them down enough for those rifles to find a bit more impact. And Brolin,
You could see his senses were right on that deagle peek, by the way. Like, peeking out and seeing 2 players not ready for your fight, that's when you know you've done it right. Unfortunately, when it's a deagle, it's not a spray. It's that one single bullet, and it didn't quite find its mark. Now, there is a preserved AK in play. It's only Crims.
I'm so worried right now for MADLions.
It would take nothing but a mid-push in Crims' AK.
Oh, no. These are the rounds they lose, Alex.
These are the rounds. Maybe not this time. They've gone long. Acor not ready and anticipating for the AK swing. Yeah, big frag. They know where he is, and he can support now if they continue into A, which they are. Oh my lord, Crimson's gonna get them all, just like this. Double kill so far, bomb loose.
We can't move.
3v3, Roy's trapped, and it is Shush that confirms he's left a little bit of a gap.
Oh
and
my
baited
god!
in the 2 of them. Perfect,
Not like
through
this!
the smoke. Fnatic are doing it their way. Oh, MADLions up against nothing. A saved rifle. You could see it coming. The writing was on the walls. They got everything they need. Shush. He's the one at the disadvantage. Mollied off, hunted down. The 3 rounds that I can list, Fnatic won on the CT side, are all going to be eyebrow raisers for Peacemaker.
These are going to be burnt into the retinas of MADLions players after they do their VOD review after this game. Just round after round, they've been peeled apart by absolutely nothing. And this time, the only save rifle of Crims.
This was great, by the way. You know, Crims was such a threat that Refresh neglected to clear his angles.
Yeah.
JW was kind of hedging his bets on that.
Jesus, Joseph and Mary, can you believe the 3 rounds that they've picked up so far this half Fnatic have all come through these little miracle low buy rounds? This is nuts. Imagine if they get through, because the thing is, it's another buy round. Like, MADLions still have enough money. They can still purchase. They can go again.
Yeah.
They're running out of timeouts. That's one thing that is falling flat for them right here. But imagine this scoreline. This wouldn't be close whatsoever. We could be looking at like 14-9 at this juncture of the game.
Right. You're right. We'd have been like, wow, MADLions T-side's great. And it has looked great, but falling foul to Fnatic rounds.
Well, no AWP for Acor, and that could be a real problem because JW, he's on the prowl, aggressive middle, picking on up, looking for room. Well, these nades could be good. These nades could be great.
Yeah, just a little too shy of the mark. trapped in, though. Golden chose to disrespect the molly to back away, cost him half his health.
Traveling as a pack, look at MADLions on the radar. They're almost shoulder width apart, just staying together as they make their way back towards middle, 3 now towards apartments. And going towards A, it's a scary task.
They've
you
got
got
what they
Cribs
want,
and Brolin.
They've got what they want. They've got the B players boosting up new box. That's enough to suggest you're going to keep those feet planted for a while. Here comes the A hit. It's a good flash on Brolin, but he still survives. Drops his own smoke for survival, wants to incendiary them. Costs him his health, and oh, Hooksy, he's got him a way in. He gets them both. Both of the A defenders down thanks to the in-game leader. Bomb is his responsibility as well, and he's trapped in pit. He's actually dropping a library smoke that will buy them a lovely bit of breathing room. As that one blooms, JW's going to take a pot shot, but actually just using his strong arms to throw the bomb across. Acor recovers and looks to plant safely. This is going to be a very interesting retake.
Yeah, bomb's going down now, so the 40-second timer begins. There's 2 mollies remaining, but it all comes down to the avenue for Fnatic's retake. It looks like all 3 of them want to be going around the quad side, but they're taking their time. So dipping down, where is flusha going? He's setting up some nades here.
Smoke for pit. Hooksy completely nullified. The anti-Brolin smoke. And now pushing into the molly. Oh no! Golden may have not checked his health. He tries to disrespect the molly. Acor gets a freebie and they have to back away. Just like that.
Madness.
Bob's your uncle. Refresh is going to go down to the bomb, I think. It's actually planted far enough away, I think, if he's tight. Gucci. 12-12.
Oh boy, just play like that every round, MADLions. Don't worry about what you're up against. Assume
Hooksy,
it's a full buy.
So that frag on Brolin just trying to drop the molly. You can see how much damage it would have done if he got away scar-free. That was an odd death for Golden. Just trying to apply the pressure, but didn't have the health.
What do you say to the team right now? Like, how do you go forward from this point? Do you just go, hey, like, we know that we're up against a low buy because their loss bonus hasn't been able to build.
1900, it's probably going to be a weird one.
So you can see here, it's 2 MP9s with utility, 2 M4s purchased on in the AWP. So luckily for MADLions, it's a gun round.
Golden likes to take initiative on the...
Okay.
Yeah, and Refresh could not be any more vulnerable. Bye.
Oh my God, 2 HP.
From 9 to 2. Takes the damage.
Go wait in spawn, bro.
Yeah, I think it's better off that way.
Maybe have a cold shower and wait for your teammates to get a couple of kills because you're out of this one for a little while.
Didn't see how that happened. Was that just standing in the molly?
Yeah, I think there was a molly behind him and in front of him, and he couldn't find a gap.
Power of the Molotov.
Well, they've had to use a lot of utility early here, MADLions. A minute 10 left, and they're only operating with 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, and 3 flashbangs.
Why does it feel like this is Fnatic's round again?
It really does.
Without too much happening. It just feels like Fnatic are about to take another one away.
Maybe that's why there's no clear direction from MADLions. Well, Refresh has been an impact fragger, and he's already low, so somebody else needs to step up to the plate. It was Hooksy in the last round. They need someone else to do it.
Previously, but slip and a miss.
Well, they've been able to isolate 2 defenders towards the A bomb site. It's been a 3-man B lean from Fnatic here with 34 seconds left on the clock. Now it's a clear indication they want to finish A. Isolated on the site will be both Brolin and Crims. The rotation coming here, but they need to frag. They need to frag now.
Refresh no longer going to have any impact. It's a double fake. They've pulled Golden off the site, JW2, and in comes B. Hooksy does confirm that Golden's off the site. flusha must be hiding in limbo somewhere, and he does jump out just as the hunt begins. Great timing. Roy, despite the flash, gets the frag necessary to get that bomb down. JW responds in kind. Acor's got his orb, but JW finds it, and Fnatic will convert. Chaos across the server. My God, they just kept trading blows.
Madness going on right here as MADLions, they're going to slip away again, and Fnatic get the 13th. There was no smoke to cover off the cross, and you can see what happens when you linger too long. JW strikes in a big way, plucking Acor out of the sky, and that's going to force MADLions to use their last tactical timeout. It doesn't even feel like we're at the business end of this game right here. And that's with the plant going on down. They have just enough money to justify a buy. 3 out of the 5 are able to get themselves rifles. 2 will have to work with either SMGs or pistols, and Fnatic, at this stage of the game, they look like they're able to close. As this timeout transpires, MADLions' buy is about to be made a reality, and look, if they were just able to convert one of those low buy situations, this could have been their map. And this is the nightmare scenario. We move on to Mirage. They've been so close. The rounds they've lost are frustrating rounds that you never should be losing, especially not 3 or 4 of them all in the same game. And MADLions have done it. They pushed all the chips into the middle of the table. They've gone all in. Acor down to a Deagle, Refresh down to a Tech9. 2 of the hardest hitters operating at a disadvantage. We need more from Hooksy, Roy, and Shush here.
Well then, what do we have here? It's a B finish. And it's flusher. He's getting pressured off the line. Fires off his shot, they start to flood the site. MADLions bare their teeth. And the fact that they're in the site without a single body dropped is certainly part of the achievement. Shush needs to get the bomb down, but it's the retakes that they've been losing. Very interested to see how this one shapes up. Whoa, okay, this is interesting. Golden has conceded control.
They're out of nades now.
And they're going to retake as a unit. I'm terrified for MADLions.
It's just one flash in Roy's hands, and he's not in a position to use it. They have to win the fights, and Acor around the world.
This is such an ambitious play, and it might be the Hail Mary they need. Time, their best friend here. Work your way off the clock. Hooksy does find Golden. Anything else to delay them would be important. They're going to get overwhelmed, overrun. Hooksy, one more from you. Acor reveals his position, and it's enough. Hooksy knocks him off the ball. Oh, and a third from Hooksy. It's such a crucial moment. The leader stands tall. Quad kill in the round. He's done enough to level up the scoreline, and look at what it's done to Fnatic. They're sent into the realms of 1700. That was colossal. Look at the lineup. All of Fnatic, the black and orange, sent to the Shadow Realm.
I cannot believe that. All 4 of Hooksy's kills in that round.
I'd like to say that Acor firing his deal when he did was part and parcel of that.
That is insane right there. All 4 of Hooksy's kills were through the smoke. That is insane.
Look at Peacemaker. He's got a wheel over for the fist bump. He needs to get himself over there.
But here's the thing. The impact that Hooksy's had on the round where he came out of halls and got 2 big kills, and the 4 right there, that could be the difference maker. That could make up for all these anti-eco losses.
Bloody hell, Hooksy.
They can't go down with another here. JW spotted. Shush, you need this, and he's converted. JW goes down. A is currently open, but they don't know that.
Watch them second guess themselves.
Go back into the B side.
Watch him charge B.
Oh my, this is their chance to take the lead in this game.
I don't know, man. They're going to second guess him. Shush surely going to jump out off the back of all this util, and he'll just jump out to no one. No one peppering him.
This is the bane of their existence, these rounds.
They are, but there's no way in hell this one's going anywhere else. So they start their walk into A, and MADLions will convert the freebie for the first time, it feels.
I can't believe
they've been so spotty. Can we bring up the round recap as this one wraps up? Because you'll see the distribution of MADLions T rounds have been so spotty. That's why they came into this with, yeah, look at that. Admittedly, the bomb plant is injecting so much into their cash, but you can see what that's doing to the CTs. You can see how distraught they are, constantly getting sent back down a peg.
It's been like those plants of what's kept MADLions competitive in a lot of these rounds. And remember the rounds that you've seen Fnatic win here. They have traditionally been with 1 or 2 saved guns. Now, don't worry about the kills going down on your screen right now. They're not a big deal. We know that was going to be a save. What I want you to consider is the money for Fnatic going into this one. You've got Brolin and Golden both operating under 4K. That's not enough for a decent buy. They can go for a Famis to get utility, or they can go for M4s with Kevlar. And then you look at Crims and Flusher. They're just over that mark. And of course, you need to take a timeout right now. Discussing your financial options for Fnatic here is huge.
So how does the conversation go?
Well, it depends on what they're having a problem with. Do we need banana control? Then we need to go for SMGs and utility. Do we want to fight them in the bomb site? Then we can opt for rifles and just a smoke and play out the clock. JW has an AWP, and once that fires early, that can slow MADLions down, and then you can play a little bit more late round. But I've already seen a buy-in coming from Fnatic, and it looked like a UMP with full utility.
Yeah.
It's not terrible to operate with over towards that B site or for the halls position, but I think we might see a mix here. A couple of players going with full sets of nades, a couple going with rifles just to make sure they have that firepower. You can see exactly that. Crims has gone with the M4, Flush has gone with the nades. Brolin's gone halfway in the middle, Famis with half utility, and Golden, you can see he's a B defender as well, is looking to opt in with all the grenades here.
Very interested that Shush has chosen to keep that MAC-10, and I actually can't help but feel that could be influential. 3 unarmored heads.
Oh, it's aggressive.
And they are charging down middle. There goes the first. Acor tucking away. Doesn't need to overcommit. Does notice his toes are getting a bit crispy. And no way is he pushing the smoke. They thought about it, and Flusher takes the pot shot. Punishes Roy. And Shush wants to do one better. He does try and find the weapon. Okay, mission accomplished. AK found.
Wait, they might not expect this AWP. They've seen a UMP and an MP9. Oh, the dink!
JW, lucky to be alive. That was a very shallow shot.
The info right now is there's an AWP on B. The best thing you can do is execute B site, pop and go.
And here they come. He fires off the shot, confirms his location. A spray from CT indicates he may be alone. JW brought down to 9 before they fire a bullet his way. They're all waiting. He does catch Hooksy, and the spray from Crims is colossal. Fnatic, just like that, they line up, and they found the equalizer. This game keeps on going. So many twists and turns, and what will look like a broken Fnatic economy is now handed right back to MADLions. A steaming pile of 3.4K.
Oh dear, Flusher did fantastic here to course correct again. We've seen a couple of those moments. In the molly as well, Crims with the double.
Bastard. That's so perfect.
Oh, and they're just trying to make sure that they're trading off each other and making space. MADLions getting battered down and back to a low buy. This is it for them. It's a UMP, it's a Mac 10, and they're up against that AWP of JW again. No aggression down mid this time. It's back towards Banana. And they're fast, they're quick. Mission accomplished, banana control granted. Fnatic have gifted that. They've held onto a chunk of utility, and you can see that Shush is playing over towards Boiler and Halls. They have a lot of map control right now, the Lions, but these mid-rounds have been their unraveling. They're low on utility as well. Smokes, 3 of which, Molotovs 2, and 1 flash. It'll come down to hitting the shots here. Don't overcomplicate things now. You've come this far. Round 29, things tied up 14 all.
Crucial moment here. Great nade. It's going to really hurt them. Look at the damage it's inflicted into the MADLions, and it makes the FAMAS all the more powerful. Nade could do more damage. Look at their health. He's dunked Roy, Hooksy, a shadow of his former self. Acor readies the spray, but another double from Crims sends them packing. Ah, brutality. Absolute, unfathomable brutality from Crims. Just as MADLions start to arrive, he crests with 3. And they are down to the nasty, nasty reality of a $2,000 final round of Inferno. Oh, they just couldn't. They lined up. That's 2 rounds in a row they've lined up for him.
Yeah, Crims could not have been in a better position there. He's only got 16 kills. It's a shadow of the performance we saw from him against Complexity the other day, but now finding impact when it matters, and this is it. MADLions with the force bite. And it's going to be a 4-man B-lean. Fnatic think they know what's coming. They might have hedged incorrectly. It looks like a fast A play. Nades towards window, Molotov towards top banana. It looks like they want to go A and they want to go quick.
Good reads from Fnatic, but flooding up long.
As long as they don't go mid to B, this is all right.
Yeah.
Oh, they are going mid to B. This is a nightmare.
Oh, no. Nightmare fuel injected into my veins. Unless, well, he gets his knife out. That's a catch. Now the spray, not another multi from Crims. Here comes the frog. It's just line up again. The dunk for Shush. Not like that. Oh, colossal finish for Fnatic. They'll take it round the world into the stack. It could have been so much more. We go again. A 3rd map required to separate the 2. MADLions, Fnatic. We'll be right back.
the shadows. I've come to make a name, ready for battle. 'Cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble? I'll show you your mistake.
Whoa, there's a couple of rounds that really separate Fnatic and MADLions in Inferno, but I mean, it goes all the way. We are seeing a third map, and I am joined by Chad Sponge Birchill, pretending to look like he's doing.
I am writing things down.
No, it's all a lie. It's all an act.
4 numbers I've just written down here, Alex.
4 numbers. Can I guess one of them?
Yeah.
16.
Close. 17. And that's probably where we can start right here, because that was the second round of the second half.
That's
now, I've had our amazing EVS operator, Max, have a little bit of a compilation for us. So this is the 4 rounds, the 4 difference makers in the second half of the rounds that probably should have been won. So this right here is round 17. Lots of nade damage here early. Now, remember, Hooksy also took damage to a Molotov. 6 seconds left on the clock. Hooksy gets taken down. The round is won. Fnatic steal 1 away. Okay, all good. Round 20. Well, this is a saved M4 in the hands of JW. Gets traded on. Looking pretty good. All right. Well, flusha has a Mac 10 that was also carried across. He finds A-Core. And another round that slipped out of the hands of MADLions. They did their absolute best to trade back in, but it was a 2-on-2 on the retake on the B bomb site. And Brolin and Crims, they handedly were able to deal with both Refresh and his compadre on the B bomb site. Crims, 1 saved AK, finds an opening kill. The USPs now start to pepper. Crims does more damage. They get baited into his presence, and JW finishes off Refresh. flusha even finds one through the smoke. And then, well, look at this. Another round that has fallen foul for that of MADLions. Round 25.
Here it comes.
And look, all in all in this one right here, it's the SMGs. It's not a full buy. They're unable to get 5 rifles.
No smoke.
A little bit of time left on the clock, and another one for Fnatic. And that was the first 4 rounds that they picked up on the CT side. They were all, at some reason or another, operating at a disadvantage, and all rounds that you can argue MADLions probably should have won, and then they probably should have won the game.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Now this is where, Chad, that conversation, you started way back.
Yes, like round 6?
Yeah, round 6. You said, I'd rather see MADLions get stomped on than get really, really close and a couple of crucial rounds break them, which is kind of exactly what we had.
And the type of rounds that they lost, it's not that they lost like retakes onto bomb sites against full gun rounds. They lost to just the low buys or saved guns. They're Fnatic specials, those type of rounds. Now, to have that in the back of your mind, knowing if we had just tightened up a few of those details, we would have 2-0'd, we would be through to the next day, we'd be playing Vitality, we'd be ready to win 1 more game to get us into the playoffs as iem-Beijing, and now we have to do it all again?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I mean, that makes me tut my tongue, never mind the team themselves. Now, I want to remind myself, Mirage is what we were left with. So Fnatic were given the choice between Overpass and Mirage. They opted for the latter.
Mirage didn't go very well for them against Complexity, did it?
It really didn't. It was one of Complexity's, I think it got off to a start of like 9 T rounds. 10 T rounds. So Fnatic's CT side, it has its woes. Maybe MADLions will be able to poke and prod them, but we'll be discussing them in just a moment. We'll be back to bring you the 3rd and final map of our 2nd series here for day 4 of iem-Beijing right after the break.
My name is Trace Saranthus. I am building a PC for Jordan Gilbert.
My goal was really to get something that was no compromise, super powerful, and ideally not built by Trace.
Yes, thank you so much, Jordan Gilbert. You know, we don't make mistakes around here. We made happy accidents.
I got a booster seat here. Enter now for a chance to win one of 3 PCs built by me, Jason, or Trace.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GG Bet.
So we prepare ourselves for Mirage's third map of this Fnatic MADLions series. Chad, if people have just tuned in, if they've just jumped over and they want to check out this final map, how would you summarize the series so far?
I think well-coordinated CT side from the MADLions on Vertigo, and then just a crazy, crazy second half on Inferno.
I would really recommend it, like, just in terms of how weird Counter-Strike can play out and how you can just see it's not just 5 people shooting 5 people, especially when Fnatic are in the server. Flusher demonstrates that you're playing against every aspect of Counter-Strike, including the clock. And yeah, I really enjoyed Inferno, even though it leaves a weird taste in my mouth.
It's strange.
I still feel like MADLions played better CS.
I agree.
Throughout most of that.
Especially the second half was mainly gun rounds for them, right? And what they lost to was the hardest rounds to win in Counter-Strike. It's the low buys, it's the half buys, it's the save guns.
Twice our worst fears were realized when we said they lose these, and that's the ones which technically favor them. It's silly. It's crazy. But Mirage, Chad, is where we are going to finish this one off. And the fears of Fnatic CT woes that we saw manifest against Complexity, whether they show up again, though, it requires a degree of confidence that I'm not sure we're going to get from the MADLions.
I don't think MADLions can play the same way Complexity can, and not yet anyway. I think that the individual pound for pound in those two teams is quite stark, but one of the things that MADLions do have going for them here is a lot of these nice little moves that are well rehearsed, and they play off each other very, very nicely. Now, reflecting on their 3 games of Mirage since hooksy and Refresh have joined the roster, 2 of which they've lost. One was to Whistler Krakow, one was to Alternate Attacks. Their win was against the Danish Existence, which was where hooksy and Refresh came from. So that roster has recently been ravaged by their departure. That was a 16-1 victory. Now, I think that this game right here, it might actually be a bit of a Bakugan battle brawl for all you little anime weebs out there.
50-year-olds or, oh no, it's not an old reference, it's an anime
might be old, I don't know. Anyway, I remember watching it as a kid in the cartoons. But either way, I think this one's going to be a close affair. I start to lean towards Fnatic now. I know that Mirage hasn't looked good in recent history, but it's been a long series, it's been a long game, and the veterans, they tend to stand up.
Yes, peering down from Mount Olympus, the gods that are Fnatic smile as they head to a third. It was through sheer willpower that they managed to pull it across. Yeah, luck, Flusher, and a little bit of a misplay from the MADLions. Well, Fnatic, they've been given a new lease of life, some fresh oxygen in their lungs. It seems that GG.bet have still given the edge to MADLions, and you can understand why, as our pre-match and pre-chat has indicated. That looks like a nice and easy connector lineup. Thank you, J-Dubs. That's a perfect smoke. Stolen. Shush, however, does struggle to find his first, and that was a very big re-peek from Roy. Oh, Acor is just sniping with the USP. And just like that, the 3 flurried frags do pretty much put the bow on this round. It is a very stylish P250, but it is just a P250 for Flusher against an entire squad.
Similar pissed round as to what they ran the other day against Complexity, the P250 out through Palace and lots up through ramp to try and take space towards CT spawn, but that was denied. Roy hitting a shot, and that was a bit of a distraction there for Acor. That is some fantastic shooting. 3 bullets, 3 headshots, lovely stuff there, and that's the precision you want to be seeing from your AWPer. We spoke a big game about him in the pre-game here today. Hasn't had an opportunity to come alive on the previous 2 maps, but if he's going to, this would be the one. And you can see here, Fnatic without the plant, they will be opting to go for the save. AKs to come out in the third, and the buy from MADLions, it represents exactly that. It's just going to be the 2 SMGs, one for hooksy, one for Shush. They've opted for 3 rifles, and they shouldn't be losing too much here. Now, once again, Fnatic will opt for a slower pace. Any kills they can get is great, but you know that you can bleed out some utility. Roy's going to be held on notice, spotting them underpass and towards top middle, but it's Glocks, no armor. And no hope, really. JW will be trying his luck, seeing if he can get a bit of a timing or get an odd little dink off there. Roy with the scope, it's the perfect weapon for the job. Acor with the slow firing rate of the M4 needs to be careful.
Yeah, he does get overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem as well, because look at the pressure applied to Roy. He needs some help, unless he wants to mop it up himself. Finds one. Refresh has helped on out as well, and oh dear, you have to clear your corners against JW, my friend, because that's a knife kill, and that's JW finding another frag. So that's a lot of damage, and it's a big cash injection. JW will now have the AWP going forward if he chooses.
Look what it's done to the CT economy. It looks like it's all jokes and memes, but he's knifed him. He's got 1,500 himself, and he's forced an org armor rebuy.
Gosh.
Roy.
That one sucks right there for poor Roy.
That hurts, bro. That really does.
JW has the AWP. Meanwhile,
did you win that round?
Yeah. Well, let's see the ramifications right now. Utility looks good. Kits are out. Hooksy's operating an MP9, and Acor has to defend middle with the M4. So this is going to be a tall task indeed.
Third round, T-AWP from J-Dubs. Profits have been invested. Very powerful angle refresh has been put here because he can spot those heads as they walk to progress mid, and contesting mid certainly seems to be the name of the game.
Yeah, they might fight here. They're going to push and go.
Yeah, you bang on, and Golden can't believe his luck. He eventually gets traded, and it does put the battlefield into a 3 versus 3. Now, Fnatic being on the T side, Crims has taken up a lot of space. I wonder if, as that fades, Hooksy's got a good shot on this. I don't know how long it's got left to bloom.
Fading now.
Nice catch. JW gets it now as the smoke fades. He's exposed. Crims brings Hooksy down to 1. Rare to see. Flash is walking in to the unguarded A site. The bomb's on its way as well.
Yeah, Refresh, even if he rotates over, it's going to be too little too late. You can see here, Flusher never left the A ramp, and as soon as there was a gap and space to take, he did exactly that. So the smoke towards connector, but Flusher in transition might fall or frag, and that's going to be the round. So Hooksy with 1 HP and a MP9. He's going to think better of going for this one. If he goes towards window, he can pick up an M4, but sound cues will be noted. Yeah, you're in trouble, mate. So they want to chase, though. Fnatic don't have to get after him here. They can allow him to hold on to this M4. It will not be a buy from MADLions in round number 4. And Hooksy will just have to hope that they don't want to take this out of his hands here, because he's lucky enough that right now there's no chase.
Lucky enough that an AK did 99 to him.
Yeah, well, Crims is coming back. Maybe he can get there in time. The bomb has about 5 seconds left. He's now mantled up into the B halls, and if he starts to run, he can get there in time, but it doesn't look to be the case. Bomb will go off. Hooksy will hold on to this. And the first round will be posted on the board for Fnatic. Scoreline 2-1. Now, you have a couple of options here on the CT side. You know that you've been reset down to the 1400 loss bonus, and you have a saved M4. So a force buy behind it is the logical option. MP9 for Roy, Deagle for Refresh, CZ for Shush, and Acor, he's going to be keeping residual cash to get that AWP up nice and early. Hooksy's also held on to 1500. Didn't want to bolster his buy with some nades, and fast towards middle, Fnatic go. Refresh has been able to tuck in towards underpass. Nobody is home right now. Has to get the timing right against Crims here, and that's an amazing shot.
Just as Hooksy challenged off JW, so there was no chance for JW to re-aggress. Oh, Fresh plays straight into it, but a missed shot. And now, Brollan is the one exposed. He's gone down to Hooksy. They've brought aggression to B-Apps. How often have you seen that? Golden's dug himself out of trouble.
Well, they've given up a lot here, Fnatic, and space has been taken. Shush and T-spawn. If he continues forward, he might get a timing here on Flash, and it looks like exactly that. Wait, hold up. Are they putting the brakes on?
Ooh, Shush has no idea how close he was to being scouted by Flasher. But he has the info. And he's behind them both. Oh, it's checked.
Big miss.
Yeah, that cost
huge
him.
miss.
It's really not going to feel good for Shush, excuse me. Now, while they're rotating, why is Acor leaving B?
I think the cam fake from Flusher there may have sold a rotation, and they only know where one out of the two members are. Golden did get a kill, but he could have tucked in through underpass or been out of the line of sight from Shush on that flank, but they've made the wrong play. Now, they know that there was an AWP in B apartments. They're not even opting to go for that right now. And at this point, not only have they left the bomb site, it looks like they've lost the round, MADLions. They gambled incorrectly. Fnatic
3-2 after such hard work.
I guess they're going to go for it, when the right option is probably just to go and save that AWP. So there's probably that discussion going on right now. Bomb eventually getting planted with 10 seconds left. Acor going through the underpass. There is a kit up here as well, Alex. So maybe they fancy this.
I mean, I'd be interested to see what weapons they can recover. That might determine their decision as well. So M4 at the toes of Roy. That'll be Acor covering that. Did the orb get thrown away?
I'm not sure.
There it is.
Yeah, it was just hidden under all those bodies. Okay, so they will save the M4 for Roy, the AWP for Acor, but they will be taking a save right now. It's a bit of a shame as well that Roy didn't grab one of the drop pistols on the floor, because he could have actually dropped one of those across to a teammate and done in a similar fashion as to what we saw Fnatic do over there on Inferno. This is Fnatic's second round, and they're very lucky. I think the MADLions may have forced the issue a little bit too much over towards B Apartments as opposed to playing their number advantage, and that's punished them here. But with Acor on the big green, it's a huge shot. That is so nice.
Oh, damn. And then Hooksy takes initiative, pushes on it, gets Brolin. This is when things get a bit awkward, though. Hooksy getting traded by Flusher.
Yeah, they had a 2-on-4 at that juncture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you're getting a little bit ahead of themselves, MADLions. It was a good attempt. They weren't operating with a lot, so let's be positive with that much. But now over towards A we head, and Acor, well, he's in the wrong place.
Maybe it's Brolin that was in the wrong place, but charging in. Roy's dealt with one. He's got 15 bullets for the next, and Golden...
Oh!
Short work of him. Hooksy. Hook, line, and sinker. Sends Fnatic packing, and there's a little bit of energy injected into MADLions.
They're spicy on these low buys as well, the MADLions. They were on the receiving end of it time and time again on Inferno. Well, they're taking it to Fnatic here on the CT side of Mirage. They've been able to steal one away. Acor even gets to hold on to that AWP, so that's a huge amount of money to be keeping. And I'd have a cheeky grin on my face too, because you've just gotten away with one there, and Peacemaker getting fired up again. I'm surprised he still has the energy after how Inferno went on down. JW, of course, he has the AWP. He's pulled that one out of his back pocket.
Yeah, they got 3 stack on towards the A site. Mid control being garnered here by Fnatic.
So no eyes on middle from MADLions. This is a very, very interesting round. Now, it's not unusual. Rush, is the vent not broken? That would be a key right now. Yeah, so this is the early warning signal. By not breaking the vent as the CTs, if a boost does come through the window, you will have that sound cue made, and then you know that there is a possibility flank through CT to either the B bomb site or to A. But as we can see here, with a minute left on the clock, it appears that Fnatic are posturing for a B side finish. They have smokes, flashes, and Molotovs to work with. Hooksy tucked in towards the van, and he's got a teammate of Refresh just under the balcony, ready and raring to go and mop up any stragglers.
Yeah, it's so nerve-wracking because it really does hinge on Hooksy and Refresh to at least get one apiece, if not more. The rotation is so far away. JW just catches the glimpse as Hooksy plays anti-flash. He exposes himself to the frag of JW's AWP, but I just saw a Refresh double. Didn't quite get to celebrate that because he was taken down immediately afterwards. And now, very uncomfortable retake for the CTs. They're even considering a save.
And it's the right call.
Yeah, have to.
It's a rubbish way for the round to go down, considering they must have known they were set up for a situation just like that. With how tucked into both bomb sites, with how committed you were to A and B, there was no one playing in between. There was no middleman, no link player who could be there to rotate, to throw nades, to draw a bit of a distraction if you do get into trouble. They had to get more than 2, and not being able to do so means that Fnatic will bounce back yet again. This is a very, very back and forth affair. It's great to see competitive side between both of these teams here today. Coming in, Fnatic were the clear favorites, but we know that they've been having their woes in recent times. MADLions, a newer roster. And there's the gap given.
Just as he goes anti, it's so far, nearly. So damn close.
Just presenting his head made it even easier
like
for JW.
Plum. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, double orb? All right, Refresh has one as well. So the buy is good for MADLions. There's a chance here that they can sneak one back. Both teams finally operating with everything they do desire. Look how quick they are searching. JW cops a nade, but he wants to find a frag and just pointing with the sharp end of that stick, seeing if anybody's home towards B. Smoke will eventually deter him, and in the meantime... Oh, wait, he's pushing through it? Of course he is. Refresh and Acor have found kills on the other side of the map. The double AWP A defense I don't see that one very often.
It's actually paid off. Going for an aggressive palace peek. You can see the X on your map there. Oh, very hot and bothered. JW's found a moment's respite and a gap. They could work this. HooXi's playing in that off corner. Roy drawing the fire. Catches Golden. This is perfect for MADLions. They haven't lost a single point of health. Could not be healthier. And poor old JW still desperately waiting for HooXi to step a line out of, well, sorry, a step out of line. He's not getting it. Acor exposed. Patience rewarded for JW, hoping another presents itself.
This is such a slow round, and it's so odd. Those kills came in on the other side of the map. You saw one little X on your screen over towards the palace position. I do believe one of the AWPs would have had to have gone aggressive up middle as well. And with that in mind, Fnatic will just go for the save. There'll be no loss bonus gifted to Crims or JW, but they do get to hold on to their rifles, their armor, and their light utility. Brolin, Golden, and Flusher, they're going to have enough here to complement these saved rifles, but the approach of Fnatic will be in question. Knowing that you have an AWP, knowing that you have JW who can find you a pick, you could just go for a bit more of a default spread. But that round right there to steal away and to continue this back and forth nature while maintaining the double AWP setup is very good signs for MADLions. You can see a bit of a face palm there from Flusher. As Fnatic, you know, you would expect them to come in here today with all the confidence in the world. But we know that there are certain teams who are hit a little bit harder by this online era. Players who have thrived in the past in arenas, lifting major trophies. It's kind of the adrenaline pumping through their veins because of those moments. And now to be in their bedroom, to be home alone, to be asked to perform towards that similar level, well, it's not the case. We do have ourselves a bit of a technical pause. And we're going to go down to our man on the field here, reporting in live from Mirage. Is none other than Alex Rushley.
Hello?
Yeah, what's
so
going on?
It looks like a TeamSpeak loss or something.
I'm going to use this opportunity, and I'm going to leave you two lovebirds to chat it out. I'm going to be right back.
Rush, you and I right now are going to...
Wait, is it a gun round?
It is a gun round, and we're back into it. You almost had to... Wait, hold up. They might be saving.
Are you saving?
Yeah, I'll do the play-by-play. Rush can do the color.
I'll be 20 seconds.
All right. Start counting, Rush.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the round is live.
And we're off. JW with the smoke towards top middle. Let's follow that one with a cam. And there you can see it landing back a catwalk. The AWP actually going to be positioned over towards Apps. And they like to go for a little bit of a pick, but so does Refresh. He's in towards underpass. He's gone very aggressive with this AWP. And that grenade onto a Crims who's yet to find a frag here on map number 3. There's a big chunk of damage. He's down to 60 HP, but look at this madness from Refresh. Rush, you ever seen anything like it?
This is a really...
Shut up with the accent.
This is a very interesting peak. He's sticking around. I think he might even try to look up, but JW, I think... Oh, Flusher taking a bit of space here. Shush is the one to deal with it. Refresh still pushing up. There's a lot of info, Chad. Oh, and there the pick comes in. The A site, 2 players here. Brolin with the Deagle.
Ooh,
little smoke nonsense.
Okay.
And Refresh is still going, Chad. What do you make of that?
Well, this is good. He's going to be on the flank on the A site, and that's exactly where Fnatic are going right now. They're finishing over towards A. They've tucked on in, and Acor's taken a big lick of damage right now as HooXi. He wants to mantle up and over, but thinks better of it. If he pushes and dies, that's a rifle in their hands, and Flush is coming his way. The spam, the flash, it's all bad for Flusher, as he was actually flushed on up by his teammate, and this is where the flank of Refresh comes into play. It's just JW with the AWP and Golden in sight with the Deagle. JW doing his very best, but they know where he is. They have Molotovs, flashes, HEs, everything to deal with him, and he may as well save. Backing on off, the defuse will come through. The double AWPs are going to be carried across, and MADLions are going to put their 5th on the board. Well handled.
Very nice. 5 for MADLions. And a bit of a break, a bit of a moment's respite as well in the finances. You can see that HooXi was very ready for the push.
Very lucky. JW flashing Flusher there could have gone the other way around. But that was a pretty bad death from Shush, I'm going to say, because that AWP's... Oh, wow. Bit of a death slam there from Flusher. Not the hardest we've seen. I think Apex had a pretty hard one the other day.
Yep, blame
the camera. JW just carrying across this saved AWP now. Their loss bonus going forward is going to be 2,400.
Observer team drawing your attention as well over to that boost. Gets Brolin across, but also the window not broken.
These are the rounds MADLions lose.
It has been. That was Inferno, though. Do Fnatic have the same level of affluence? With Mirage, he pushes straight through the smoke. Shush was there to pick up the pieces. Roy was exposed, but there you go. Any more where that came from?
Keep him coming.
JWs could be set up for success on the AWP. There is one in play. Just throws his smoke safely. Not going to fall foul to any beginner errors.
Well, B app's being pushed by Hooksy now, so he's had a lot of information for his team. Now, Crims is yet to frag. He might have a chance to nutmeg in this mid-smoke, and there it is. He's taken Shush down. Now this becomes a 4-on-4. Hooksy's information. It doesn't really grant them a lot. There's massive gaps here.
Huge gap.
At least that's the bomb.
And here comes Hooksy, solving all the problems in one fell swoop. JW is under a lot of threat. He knows short is a potential, but will the timing favor refresh? It looks like it will. Holding down and just walks into the orb line. Crims strafing into Hooksy. I liked his chances there. Triple kill again from Hooksy. He's having a lot of impact. We talked about to him just yesterday or the day before, talking about his impact as an in-game leader, and he definitely doesn't want to be using the in-game leadership as a excuse.
It's the best excuse, dude. Trust me. I know, firsthand.
In there, used it.
Yeah, but I'm calling the strategies, all right? I don't have to shoot people.
That's my job.
It's all me, all right? You guys do what I say.
And then we'll win.
Yeah.
Don't press tab.
Probably would have helped if I had a couple kills.
Well,
all right. Double AWP still being held on for MADLions, and I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Acor and Refresh have been very active, and Flusher, he's not loving what he's seeing. Legged on up, tagged on down, 5 HP. Some interesting setups from MADLions indeed. 3 players over towards B within the early stages. No caretaker for window. Hooksy's taking vent space. Oh, Hooksy, there's a bum there for you, mate. Give that one a slap as Golden. He's going to be peppered from behind, and that's a big opening.
Peppered Swedish steak.
Ooh, could go for a steak right now.
It's been a while.
It's a flubbed molly, so Hooksy has gap, and he's almost got more impact.
Could have very well led to more. Well, they've got a 2-2 split now, the CT, so Fnatic will be pushing into a numbers advantage if they group.
Is the vent broken, Rush? It is. Okay, so there is a gap towards window, and you can see Acor having to look towards spawn to deal with that right now. This low HP, ooh, Refresh would have to miss a big shot here.
Yeah, it's going to be down to Bron's timing as well. When does he choose to arrive on short? Why is Roy left Refresh? That's how little information they've got.
He's hedging as well. Oh, this is a problem. A big problem now.
Look at every second that passes now. Refresh has got a lot to do. He does deal with Flusher. A repeat and a JW frag. That's everything. Refresh the impact. This man has delivered all 4 and pulls the 7th straight out of the bag. MADLions breaking Fnatic.
Well, there were problems, and then Refresh has stepped up in superstar form, and we said that this kid has the potential, alongside of Acor, to be the powerhouse, to be the driving force. I didn't think it was going to be done on the secondary AWP on the B side of Mirage, locking Fnatic and halting their round spree, keeping them to 3, and that's 7. You have to be celebrating that one. You can see that's a big one. We're getting that from all the POVs. Fist bumps, smiles. Everyone's having a good time in the MADLions camp now as one more round, they've won the half. Fnatic might be granting them that. You can see how spotty the rounds are again. Pissed around with the conversion in the back pocket of MADLions.
What the hell?
Early AWP coming out for JW. Remember that knife kill?
I do, but I mean, I'm putting up wanted posters, or rather missing posters for Brolin. Where is that boy?
Yeah, Crims too. Only 1 kill for him.
Interesting. They've been kept honest by MADLions opening here on the CT side, and it is back to the rounds MADLions have struggled with.
Well, it's going to be a B execute. What are we looking at here? It looks like 4 players quickly into the B apartment to top mid-smoke just to keep them busy. Roy will have to deal with that. And they know that there's an AWP in play. So a Refresh is where they want to isolate. He got 4 kills last time round. They're thinking there's no way he can do it again, especially if we throw a bunch of flashes in his face and smokes and Molotovs to boot. And here we go. Ollie from Refresh, he's going to hold them back. He needs help. He needs it now.
Yeah, and it arrives in the form of Hooksy, who's quickly found Golden and another onto Flusher. So they will not be getting that bomb down. Roy makes sure of that.
Refresh even lived.
And he gets to tell the story of the time he nearly died. Double AWPs working wonders for MADLions. Ever since they made that transition, Chad, they've been picking up rounds.
Yeah, and this has been keen from MADLions. I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I think the double AWP setup is allowing them to play a little bit more flexible in their setups. As we mentioned before, they had a round where they pushed an AWP up mid, they pushed an AWP in towards A apartments, and they can go for that flexibility more and more. acor has a good spawn now. He can go for an apartments push with the AWP again, or quickly over towards A ramp or connector. So using their spawns, oh, he's fluffed the jump there. Maybe we'll cancel that apartments push. Yeah, normally his movement's so good, so to see him miss something like that, a bit pedestrian. But it's a 4-man A-lane from MADLions right now. Oof. There's Brolin.
Oh, there he is, found him. He's in middle, pop it off. Takes off 2 members of the MADLions connected defense. And there should be no way in. Especially now Refresh has been spotted, fragged, and likely finished off. A flash to try and help his teammate out. Go on, Refresh. Spurred forwards. They're not going to get anything out of it. acor perhaps, maybe undisputed. No, he is going to be found. And now Hooksy's presented an impossible clutch. JW there. But Brolin gets all of the beans after that one.
Okay, well, that was a very aggressive mid-play from Fnatic there. And yeah, good call with the timeout from MADLions. Just discuss your options. That round happened so quick. Maybe you don't even know what you lost to. Maybe you don't even know what it looked like. You get an extra 20 seconds at this point. Sorry, 30 seconds at this point, just to have a conversation. And we wanted Brolin, and there he is with 3 huge kills. So getting the 4th on the board for Fnatic here, still competitive on Mirage. Will it be the double AWPs again? We haven't seen Refresh. Oh no, Refresh is rocking an M4, so no, it will not be. Here's just a little bit of a recap of some of the highlights so far. There's acor kicking things off in style on the pistol round with a bag of big frags. JW with this knife kill facilitating his AWP on the 3rd round, and then 2 rounds for Fnatic to follow. Hooksy, the in-game leader, with some impact here in the game. And then Refresh with this stylish highlight on the B bomb site. 4 to deal with and 4 dealt with.
Yeah, it was this last shot. Look at that. After you've hit the first 3, you are feeling extra sharp taking those.
Okay, well, it is a feigned mid-control from MADLions here. They haven't actually opted to push. You can see the smoke molly combo to give the idea that they've gone for a full mid-aggress, and it's really just acor. He's having the entire mid-corridor as well as underpass for his own personal AWPing field.
My fear, though, is does he... Okay, he waits. He goes back in as the smoke fades. Had there been a re-aggress from Fnatic, that could have been a very vulnerable position. But they're staying very stationary. In fact, more so than I anticipated. Now the top mid smoke blooms. Brolin's going to get a pop flash set up deep to hopefully force out some util.
Yeah, you can see that they're not aware of how much space MADLions have taken. That is noted by JW's Molotov towards the mid-boxes. So now that they can see that nobody has aggressed all the way up, they can retool and understand that this is just a standard round. MADLions could have pushed underpass, but they haven't gone into the B apartment, so they don't have that information. And while this happens, Fnatic is setting up an A execute.
Okay, so that flash is everything. If Shush calls for it, they're set up for the swing. Now,
that wasn't a great flash.
Yeah, no, A, you get a bad flash, and B, Shush, I can't help but feel you're about to get caught, bro. Pins are pulled. He readies his aim. And Brolin is going to be the first to have a look. Bad flash as well from Fnatic. Enables Shush. And there's more where that came from. The pre-fire, but it's not enough. He doesn't control it. Flush has got another. acor has to contain them. It's a hard shot. 18 seconds. Getting it would win the round, but now the molly forces his hand. He has to back away. Hooksy does have vision, and he's found Flusher. That's not the bomb, though. JW has to plan. He can't anymore. And the round will go MADLions' way. Cool, calm, and they collect.
Yeah, JW with the AWP just looks like a martyr there, jumping into the site, trying to give them an opportunity to close that round out, but that's going to be 9 now for MADLions. They're able to keep 3 alive, so their reinvestment into round number 14 is going to be a full buy, whereas Fnatic, what are you going to be able to pull together here? acor does a great job to stall them coming out of apartments, and that tees the in-game leader up in a big way. Smokes have faded. So with Fnatic's chances as the facepalm from Brolin, I think it's starting to say it all here. The game slipping away from them quickly here. I think 5 should be on the docket as they will buy. Galil for Crims, utility not plentiful. JW down to the AWP, and Brolin, he's gone for that aggression that helped them win their last gun round. Very quick towards connector this time. And he's on his own. Look how much of an island he is. There's a bit of help towards the back of middle, and that's in that golden, but he can't actually trade. He can't be up close and personal, especially if a boost like this comes through. He's going to get the head.
Oh, he was ready for it. Fnatic get the opening kill. Now, they need to convert this.
Oh, Hooksy with a nice trade.
He did, yeah, but JW's just jumped into the B site. Acor should be able to punish this, but Golden swings around. Fnatic, some individual brilliance across the entire map is rendering the rest of MADLions completely and totally useless. Shush the last, and he does control it nicely into Flusher. Bomb late to the arrival, and it's finished off before we can get too excited.
Okay, so going into the last round of play, it really looks like Fnatic can walk away